This is Pops. I'm just pasting a link in the chat. Give me 1 second. So I'm thinking about doing this show every morning. If I, God willing, I still can. And anybody that is watching, or just kind of, if you can, leave me comments. What time zone you're in and what time. I'm trying to figure out the best time to do this. I like to do a morning show, go over all the different newses. I have a bunch of them, so I like to go over all the different news channels. We'll go right, we'll go left, we'll go in between. This way we can see what's going on. We can get an idea a little better. You got to look at everything. Yeah, you just got to basically look at 10 news sources and try to put together some kind of truth, because it's real hard. Okay, so we'll start out. I'm going to start out with Fox News. They're kind of like, they're left, they're right. They don't know where they are. They can't find a home yet, Fox. A couple of their casters are great, like Tucker, and then a couple of them are like, I don't know. So I figured let's start out with somebody that's like kind of in the middle, even though I don't know if they're in the middle anymore. But so here we go. We got Fox News. Ukrainian war is the biggest thing out there right now. So let's see what we got. They're going to impose curfew, supposedly, after a brutal bombardment. Now, I don't know. Just like I always say, I don't know what to believe. They've been showing this one picture of this building forever. It's like, this is the only picture you constantly see, is this one. I wonder where they got this picture. Is it in Ukraine? Is it an old picture? Because that's all they keep showing us, is this one picture. And believe me, they can Photoshop all this stuff. I've seen them do a lot of crazy stuff. Here we go. Biden's past action to Mideast coming back to haunt him as he begs for oil. So now we got America's begging for oil. Let's just forget about this, whoever you want to call him. I don't know. Let's call him Donkey, because that's what he is. Okay? And I think he's an actor. I don't even think I think there's a couple of them, too. There's a couple of Joe Bidens. I don't know if there's clones or actors with makeup are playing them, but 1 minute he can't read anything, and the next minute he's real calm and collective. So it's weird. Tom Cotton, Biden's timid leadership on full display in Poland jet debacle. Look, people, we could blame Biden all we want, but he's not running this show. There's way more to this story. Senate could sit there and talk their shit. They could override him if they want, so they got to stop. Do you see the Senate or the Congress having an emergency meeting to get some type of oil drilling passed to help Americans? No, they're in on it also. They're all, they want to blame Biden, so all you're doing is you're looking at Biden. Why don't we look at the whole Senate and the whole Congress? Because they're really the ones doing all this shit, not Biden. Biden can be overwritten, okay? So let's get that straight. All right, U.S. mom treks thousands of miles to rescue adopted daughter from war zone. More pity, more sorrow, more, feel sorry for, feel sorry for Ukraine. And, okay, I don't have any comments, so. Exclusive clips. I don't care about that. Russian cyber attacks have proven record against U.S. targets. So they're getting us ready for some cyber attacks. This is what they're trying to pull. Okay. That's definitely put that seed into your eyes. Anybody here, just post a comment so I know you're here. You got anything you want to talk about this morning? And let's see what we got. I'm going to go to YouTube, see if there's anything I forgot to do. And All right. So everything is fine. I linked it. So we're up to colliding with the left. How Putin has used rapid environmental groups to dominate Europe's energy. All right. So the guy's drilling for oil, and now they're giving all kinds of stuff, environmental groups. What environmental groups? Russia does what they want. It's their country. They don't need environmental groups to tell them what the fuck to do. So I don't know why they're doing all this craziness. Fashion brand designers take a stand against Russian invasion of Ukraine. Really? So you don't want to sell your Levi jeans in Russia? I like. They really care. You don't want to sell Nike or Adidas. They'll create their own stuff. I mean, people used to wear potato sacks for clothes. I don't think the Russians care about clothes. I don't think anybody really cares. I think the main thing people care about, except for spoiled Americans, they care about their clothes, like the Kardashians and things, right? People care about food, peace, security, a roof over their head, So that's a bunch of crock. Who cares about the designers? Stick your Nikes up your butt. Stick your Adidas up your butt. I won't even buy 95% of this stuff. I don't care about these people. Tucker Carlson, everything that Tulsi Gabbard said about biolibs in Ukraine is true. Let's see what's going on there. So he's claiming everything is true. You can assume not as Zelensky thinks about at this point. So he's basically saying everything she said is true. And what she was saying is there are biolabs in Ukraine, American funded, and what are they doing there? And she's asking the questions, the hard questions that nobody wants to ask. This is from Fox. This is wild. The Biden administration is trying to use the Russia-Ukraine war as a cover for a new nuclear deal with Iran. Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. It's all smoke and mirrors, people. Former Marine Colonel condemns Biden's woke focus in military amid Ukraine war. Yeah, they got woke focused people in the military. I guess in 1 year they can't destroy the military yet, though. It's going to take them a while, Hopefully these crazy, demonic, liberal, communist, socialist, whatever you want to call them, aren't in power in a few more years from now. Hopefully we can get rid of them. Ukraine wars, Biden paralyzed by imputude and making major mistakes on energy. Everything, blame Biden, blame Putin. What about the Senate? What about the Congress? Let's blame them. White House drafts TikTok stars to push Democratic narrative on rising gas prices. So now they're getting people to get on TikTok, they're TikTok stars, and say, blame Vladimir Putin for rising gas prices and be happy to pay more for gasoline. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be happy to pay more for the gas. Okay, this is what they do. They're pros at it. Let's face reality. Okay, so this is what Fox is claiming, and I believe it. All right, so what else are we looking at? Contributions exceed $6 million for Fox Corp support of Red Cross in Ukraine. Now, I don't know where that money's really going. You could do a lot of homework into the Red Cross. They're another kind of corrupt organization, from what I understand. All right, and that's it for Fox, really. Let's see what else we got in Fox. Politics. Let's see. Russia-Ukraine war exposes fissures between Obama, Biden officials with oil-rich country leaders. So they don't even want to be bothered with these guys. They don't trust them. Okay. Ohio Republican Senate showdown. Another, everything is all bullshit out there. All these Republicans and with the votes and all this shit. They got all this proof, and they do have it, but nothing ever gets heard. The mob just shoots them down. The gangsters that are running our country, they got all kinds of judges in their pockets, so nothing ever gets done. They're trying to cancel a Republican that's running in Minnesota. Now they're trying to say Russia's trying to intimidate the West with missile strikes near Poland. Are they really shooting missiles near Poland? Blaming gas prices on Biden is frankly un-American. Democrat and Republicans. Democrat representative. They put it looked like Republican almost. So blaming gas prices on Biden is frankly un-American. Democratic representative says. Well, really, we shouldn't be blaming Biden. We almost should be kicking ourselves in the ass because we put these, we didn't put them in. We still voted, more for Trump, but a lot of people still did vote for that idiot. Okay, so let's get off of Fox and let's go to the far right. Okay, I like the far right. Exclusive DOD operative Don Berlin set up President Trump for sedition with tainted election dossier. Who paid this guy? So they're doing some homework. The Gateway Pundit tries to really dig deep. Idaho State passes legislature, passes Texas-style bill to ban abortion at 6 weeks. How about we just ban abortion, period? But 6 weeks is better than they could perform an abortion the day before birth. I mean, that's crazy. New poll finds Democrats are haunted by their calls to defund the police. Look, we don't need to defund the police. What we need to do is hire the right police. They've been hiring a lot of people with no morals, and we have to train the police differently. Okay? We shouldn't train cops to treat people like criminals, ripping them out of their cars. I mean, I've seen cops pull grandmas out of cars, and we got trash can in the house, and we got where the rabbit hole ends. So I've seen the police actually pulling grandmas out of cars, young kids driving, flipping the cars. I mean, we got to train the police differently, and we got to change a lot of laws in this country because there's too many laws. And if there's less laws, then it's less laws the police have to basically enforce. But the whole scheme is to put people in jail, as many as they can, because that makes, money, and to give people tons of tickets, revenue. They want to give you tickets for everything. They want to give you tickets if you have a dog and your dog does something wrong. They want to give your dog a ticket. So this is where it's at. WE legend Scott Hall. I don't know if you guys remember him. He's an old-time wrestler. He passed away from hip surgery. Now, hip surgery is dangerous. You do bleed a lot. I know a lot of old people that need hips sometimes pass on it because it's and Trash Can says get rid of the ATF. I agree. Well, they got to start hiring police officers with morals to begin with. Okay, so cops that actually care about people, and then I think they should put cops in their own neighborhoods to work. This way, the cop knows a lot of the people, and the people know where the cop lives, so he's not going to do stupid shit. His kids go to school with their kids. That would be a great idea, wouldn't it? But they don't want that. They separate the cop. They don't want the cops to work in their own area because they say, oh, there could be corruption. Corruption. What about all the corruption of you politicians? Clowns. We live in a world of clowns are running the show now. We got a judge blocking the release of Saget's autopsy records if the actor was found dead with a fracture at the base of the skull. So they probably whacked him. He was going to talk probably. He's an Illuminati devil worshiper. And I guess he found his soul, and he realized what he was doing was wrong, and he probably was going to spill the beans. So he got whacked. He even made a comment, about he was going to die soon, because I guess they already threatened him and told him if he don't shut his mouth. Or they just told him, we're coming to get you because you opened your mouth already. Prospect of nuclear conflict. Oh, there's no StreamYard link? Hold on. Let me put it in. Yeah, I did the wrong one. Hold up. I'll put it in there. Let me go to YouTube. Yeah, I think I copied the YouTube address. It's in the morning, so I guess I'm a little stunad, they call it in Italian. And let me put the StreamYard link. There it is. And we will pin that. Oh, I think it is pinned now. Let me unpin this. And let me pin that one. There you go. All right, so I put the StreamYard link in there. All right. All right, so we're up to the prospect of nuclear war. And we got Where's the Rabbit Hole Ends. How's it going?
Yo, yo, yo.
Hold on, let me see if I can hear you. Oh, okay. Now I can hear you.
Yo, yo, yo. Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Go, go, go.
Oh, good. So what's going on over there in Missouri?
Not much. Just same shit, different toilet. Weather's been crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's cold. It was freezing over here the other night in Jersey.
No one's going to eat your num num.
The weather don't know if it wants to be hot or cold. It's like, now it's like 60, 70 in the daytime, and then it goes down to like 40, 30.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll blame that on Putin, too.
It's all bullshit, though. It's just all of it is bullshit.
It's all like a movie. There's so many people that have actually came online, regular people with their phones and their film stuff, and they said none of this shit is happening really. Actually, one lady, her husband's a tank commander in the Ukraine army, and she says the Ukrainians are actually shooting on their own buildings to make it look, they want to make this look like the Russians are doing all this stuff. So I believe half of what I hear.
They're putting out footage from other wars and shit consistently.
Yep, and they're using video game footage. That's how crazy it is.
It's all propaganda.
Yep.
It's literally all propaganda. It's just, you know what I
mean? Look, I'm sure Russia's doing a little bit in there. But I don't think there's really that much resistance.
No, there's really like a little bullshit war going on, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's a bullshit war. This is not this isn't like full scale war.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? They're not sitting here bombarding the shit out of everything.
No, and they won't let us hear the other side of the story. They won't let us hear Russia's side because they know.
America's done this same thing in other countries that they had no business doing it. Like over the last, 20, 30 years, they've been going in Iraq, Afghanistan, over here, over there, Kuwait, Desert Storm. They were just bombarding people and doing this exact thing. So how are they going to sit here and turn around and call Putin a war criminal?
They did this with Germany during World War II. Same thing.
It's all bullshit.
Even Germany, there was a lot of bullshit. They made him out to be the super boogeyman. I think he was bad, but they made it even worse than what it was because, the whole West right now is involved in this, though. That, it's Europe and everything. Now everybody's ganging up on Ukraine. And what's the real reason?
Yo, at the end of the day, they're just trying to keep everybody in this nonstop state of panic and fear so they could continue to, orchestrate their plans and you don't see what's happening. That's what it really is. They know that people are waking up, so they have to constantly unite people together under them. You know what I'm saying? They want you to believe you're at war, so they want you to believe they're protecting you from the boogeyman, and so you don't hate them no more. You know what I'm saying? The hate was off the scale for the leaders. So now they want to be heroes, so they're gonna do bullshit and make themselves heroes. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, people need to just start waking up, and people need to literally just stop participating in the system. Just stop working. Just stop spending money. Just stop.
Well,
You know what I mean?
we got to start looking at our politicians and stop looking at the war, because it seems to have everybody's attention. And I'm going over it just to show people what bullshit it is.
It's all bullshit.
And they blame it. And the big thing is everything. I think they put Biden in there so he could be the blame for. They knew in the future that whenever you're not talking, Mike, mute your mic so people don't. Yeah. So when you're talking, then unmute it. But I think they put Biden in there. Now it makes sense to me. I didn't realize why they put him in. Now I do. Because they knew they were going to do a lot of shit, the globalists and stuff. So they put it like, the scapegoat. Blame Biden for everything. It's not Biden. Okay? Senate and Congress can overrule him, start drilling for oil in America. There's no need for us to be paying what we're paying for oil, gasoline right now. There's no reason for inflation. They can overrule him. They're not. So let's start blaming the Senate and the Congress. And who cares about Biden? Okay? Because in reality, he don't have the power we think he has. Ex-Clinton lawyer.
I mean, you already know, bro. It's two heads of the same serpent. They're all in on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we have to stop sitting here and trying to figure out what they're doing and just look at what's actually happening. People have been thrown so far off that, like the don't look up type of thing. What it is people don't want to look at what's actually happening. They get caught up in all these different rabbit holes and these psyops and these mind control programs that out there got people, thinking all different left field shit. When it's real easy to just look at what is happening in the world. Like, what is there evidence of?
There's really, when you really think about it, there is only really one way for us to fight back, and that's stop participating in the whole system. But people won't do that. They live in the city. They got houses. They got mortgages. They got cars. So we have to look for another way besides not participating. People that can stop participating should. If you can do it, if you're financially set to do it, people will not, in America, will not sacrifice even not to have a phone. Let's forget about sacrificing not participating. These people are addicted like crack to their phones.
Well, it doesn't matter because the people with the phones in their hand all day, they're going to die. The phones are going to kill you. Straight up.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not getting into that this morning because this is just more about news. I get you, though. I mean, I don't want to get into the 5G and all that shit.
I'm just saying it's going to kill you. Like, it's straight up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting 5G to your phone, you're getting hit heavy.
No, there was a scientist that came out the other day, and they, the same guys that was finding out what was in the shit.
Yeah.
The guys from I think Spain.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones coming out with all the different microscopic images and showing all the shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those guys did a test, and they were showing that the phone was putting out 50,000 volts in the air, right? And it's only regulated to put out a small fraction of that. So the maximum allowed is 1 volt.
Have you tested your phone?
Yeah, it's out of control, bro. They spike off the meter, and it breaks my meter. But these guys have a meter that could detect past, you know what I'm saying? 6,000 volts.
You're saying that you have a meter to test your phone, and you've been testing it now, and it's off the charts.
I'm saying that the levels they're hitting people with breaks my meter and it zeroes it out. And these people have a meter that's even more advanced and it shows the actual numbers and they're off the charts of legality.
I got you. So
they have it set up.
Thing we should look into. We should go up to people in the street. We should try to get a good meter and just walk up to people and say, "Let me show you how much your phone is putting out."
Yo, they had the meters at that there was a protest in Canada. And they had the meters, and these people deployed sonic weapons, bro. And the people had the meter, and they were showing what they were getting hit with in the crowd. And then people got burns on their face and all kinds of shit.
Well, some crazy stuff is going on.
It's real.
They're getting us ready for cyber attacks. They're talking about Russia. Now here's one with Israel. Israel coming under largest ever cyber attack in history. So they're planting seeds in our brains to get us to make that normal. So if we get hit with one, we'll be like, this is part of war. Russia's bombing in Ukraine, their Polish border, which is bullshit. Students evacuated. Assistant principal at Social Middle School commits suicide on campus. I mean, you got people committing suicide on campuses. I mean, it's getting nuts. Pelosi sham 1-6 committee tracks down Republican donors, seeks to criminalize GOP fundraising efforts linked to election integrity. So a lot of stuff's coming out, but my argument is nothing ever gets done. These people built a fortress around, Washington, D.C., okay, and they're not letting nobody in, and they're going to just run the show in their fort because they built a fort, people. That wasn't to protect them from the riots and the protests, because if it was, why didn't they take them walls down? It's been since January of last year. Why can't people go visit the White House like tourists? Why can't people walk through and see the Congress and see all that in the District of Columbia? Because they basically locked it down. They built a fortress. They don't want civilians able to access anything in there anymore. They're hiding everything. Maduro, if you don't know who he is, regime tells Vega, he's the dictator of Venezuela, Joe Biden to pound sand. Psaki importing Venezuela oil, not an active conversation at this time. All hype and propaganda. They want to destroy America, so they're going to make like nobody's going to cooperate with us. But what about just drilling our own oil? Very simple. All right. So we did a little far right. Joe Biden says 17 Nobel Peace Prize winners in economic wrote that. Him saying Build Back Better will ease inflation. Yeah, right. You're not easing anything. Get ready. We are in the prelude. No one person should have ultimately authority to make decisions for millions of Americans. Rand Paul introduces amendment to fire Fauci as NIAID director. I really think this guy, Ron Paul, though, happens to be one of the few politicians that ain't corrupted. But it could be he is. But I think he's one of the few. I think down the road, he'll just die mysteriously, as most of these.
Trump got him in.
Yeah. So latest news, we got CBS, another far left news. They're working with the space station, NASA, so they're trying to make you believe in space still and things like that. CBS, I don't know. I don't really have anything good to say about CBS. Let me just get rid of them. They're boring anyway.
Yo, they go on the news and said Putin threatened to leave them alone in space on the space station.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
So 3 European leaders head to the capital of Ukraine to admit attacks. Yeah, okay. What leaders are they? Is it the president of Germany? Is it what's his name? Schwab there? Maybe he's going. Maybe they can take him out while they're there. All right, so now they're trying to say to Proud Boys there was a plan to storm the government buildings. I personally believe they're being set up. I don't think those guys are stupid enough to do any of that. These people they're setting up, the FBI could set up anybody. They can set you up that you're a pedophile tomorrow if they want. I mean, they'll just get fake stuff, put it in your computer. So it's all BS, people. I don't know. The problem is that these people do get arrested. They go to jail to make examples of other groups because they don't want nobody saying anything. Just shh, be quiet and obey. All right. Looking at the news every morning, I don't know if this is healthy, but behind the Edmonds cellophane, a slice of Long Island life. I don't know. They're talking about cakes. Tom Brady's returning. His wife probably gave him permission to go play football for another year. Another wuss. Everybody loves this guy. He ain't no alpha. His demonic wife's running his life. All right. And let's see. I think his wife made him retire. Gave him an ultimatum, and then he retired. She just wanted to see if he would listen, and he did. And then she said, okay, you know what? You can go play football for another year, honey. All right, let's see. We got nothing really good in the New York Times. These guys, I don't know. Let's see if there's anything else I could pull up from the New York Times. I guess they want you to buy, let's see, the Ukraine war. Anything good in here? No, nothing. All right, and we'll get rid of them. New York Times is a waste of time. How's that sound? Let's go to my favorite news channel, InfoWars. People, you think this guy's a conspiracy theory guy. You know what? He probably talks the most truth out of any news channel. Does he lie and exaggerate some things? Probably. Yeah, of course. He's got to make money too, right? But I'll give him he's in the 75% truth realm, if you ask me. Maybe even better than that. But everybody thinks everything's a conspiracy theory, and then 6 months later, they find out this guy was right. Okay, so Alex Jones told everybody Russia was going to go in Ukraine in February. He told everybody that about 7 months ago. You could go look at his videos. All right, MSNBC's Nancy, FNSC's Carlson, Tulsi Gabbard, Russians collaborators. She hit back at Romney, this girl. I'm sure she's going to probably just die of a mysterious death soon. Sweden Democrats ban all refugees except Ukrainians. So that's the story. The great Jewish oligarchs escape. Russian oligarchs flee to Israel. Let's see this one. I want to see what this is about. Flee to Israel to bid to dodge sanctions. So now they're making it, some of these guys. I mean, this could be true because if he's right, if Alex Jones is saying this shit may be on point. At least 14 private jets from Russian oligarchs landed in Israel after sanctions were imposed. But I don't understand. If you're a Russian oligarch, the thing I don't get, you're making all your money in Russia, right? What is it? So you go to Israel. So what does that accomplish? I don't get it. They weren't arresting these oligarchs. So why would they go to it now? Are they going to turn on Putin and say, hey, we're not with this guy, release all our money? Because they locked down all these people's money. I mean, the Khazarian mob just took over and said, nope, we're going to lock all your money down. So they probably going to Israel now to talk to the Khazarian mob and make a deal, beg for forgiveness maybe. So that's weird, right? Everything seems to be revolving around Israel lately. I wonder why. Is there such a thing as the Khazarian mob? Or maybe they don't exist, people. You'll see more and more. Israel is going to become the center of everything. There's a reason. That's where the evil is. Roman Abramovich's private jet landed in Israel 8 hours ago. So these guys are all flying there. Why are they flying there? They're going to make a deal. Because that's the headquarters of the people that run the world probably in Israel. The Khazarian mob's over there running shit. Israel avoids sanctioning oligarchs. See? They went there to avoid the sanctions, I guess. That's why they went there. Please don't take our money. We'll play ball with you. We're not with Putin. So that's why they went there. They went there to make the deal, to beg. Please don't take our money. We're not with Putin. And then Putin's not going to forget. So. Or maybe he told them, go there so they don't tie up your money and then you come back when this is all over. Who knows?
No, they put a hit on him.
On Putin?
Yeah, the oligarchs of Russia have a $1 million hit on his have on the Olive Gardens. They have a
Yeah.
hit on them, bro.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. When you got Lindsey Graham, a United States senator, putting a hit out on a
Who is
president of a major power. It wasn't like he put a hit out on the
Into
president of Costa Rica. He put a hit out on the president of Russia.
What
That
are you
is like,
talking?
I don't understand. Like, you put a hit out on
Your
Putin.
arm does not
Don't
have
you
a
think, Mike, you got to mute your mic when you're not talking.
Oh, hold on.
Don't you think that Putin has the KGB or whatever you want to call them, the Federal Russian, whatever? Don't you think they got people that can go whack you? So, like, Lindsey Graham's got some set. I got to give it to him, but I think he's desperate because something's going to unravel in Ukraine that ties to him big time. He was there with Kane. They have pictures back in like 2014 or 2004. I forgot what year it was. So Lindsey Graham did that. Either it's an act, or if he really did it, he's got some set because Putin got enough firepower to get him too. I mean, so you want to put a hit out on him? It's like you putting a hit out on our president. We got the CIA. Could go put a hit out on you. So it's the same thing with Russia. They got a CIA just like we do. I think it's all bullshit. That's what I think it is. I'm wondering if really Putin is with them and they're really playing this good movie for us, making him look like, he's against them, or is he really flipped and went against these oligarchs? That's what I'm wondering. Let's see what else. As Ukrainian war rages, the West tightens, screws Russian oligarchs, making them look for Israel to escape. So they're all running to Israel. And who is in Israel? More of our money, $1 billion going to Israel. We're basically paying for their Iron Curtain and all that stuff. All right, so now Israel's announcing for the first time they're going to comply with international sanctions against Russia. So the Khazarian mob finally said, yeah, we're going to do it. We got this guy. I don't know if you've seen Zelensky. He has a tranny. He dresses like, I don't know what you want to call it. He dresses like a woman with heels on, and he does a dance. I showed everybody that yesterday. That's their president, So let's see what else we got. Anti-radiation pills, survival food, selling out in the U.S. See? Where the rabbit hole ends. This is what he's talking about. This is what they want to do. They want to put everybody in fear. People are buying out anti-radiation pills.
Yo, I looked into the radiation pills, bro, and it doesn't do nothing. Like, not only does the radiation pills not do nothing, but the radiation don't do nothing. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I would believe.
Like, yo, the bomb itself, right? The bomb that they drop, that does shit. But, like, you know how they say, oh, the fallout and the land and the people, they can't, you know what I mean? They can't live that. That's all bullshit. It's all made up.
Yeah, I would believe that maybe when it first hits, maybe a day or two, you wouldn't be able to go outside. But I think after a couple of days, it would clear up.
Yeah, it's all made up. And the reason why they made all that up is because they don't want people to have little mass-produced nuclear reactors in their backyard powering their house forever for free.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, because there is somebody that has, I guess it's a little device fusion. It's a little box that can run your whole house. It's the size of a shoebox.
Well, yeah, they can make little shoebox-sized reactors that would power your house forever. But the reason why they say that you can't have it is because it would cause radiation pollution.
Right. Now, they want us to go to these electric cars. Oh, but to produce electric, you got to burn a lot of oil. So I don't know what. And to make the batteries for the electric cars,
I don't want that, bro.
you burn more oil than a car would use in gas for its lifetime. So to make these batteries.
In the 1970s, there was a man who invented a car that ran on water. Just water. And, he's dead and the patents are gone. And at the end of the day, there's really no reason to even burn fuel.
Correct.
Because the engine this guy made could run power plants also. And it consumes water.
Yep.
which we have an abundance of. But the reason why they shut this down is because they control everyone through oil. It's
Yeah.
a means of control. Think about it. They cut off the oil. None of your shit can run. If your shit
Yeah.
ran on water, you just wait till it rains, and now you're going again.
We got Marcus Rodriguez in the house, ex-Marine. We got Mimsy Mims in the house. And let's see what else we got. Zelensky advisor comments on possibility of peace with Russia. NATO laid a trap for Putin that could destroy the world. Let's look at that. What's that about? It's a conflict with Ukraine knowing full well that it will devolve into an all-out war. So more fear, and more fear. So Fauci saying more vaccines will be needed, and we're not done with this. So that's another headline. And let's see what else we got on the headlines. Now, I told everybody about these BLs. You know, BL is it's initials for a biolab. You just say BL, it's easier because, you know, YouTube algorithm, stick it up your ass. Anyway, so I told people from day one, what about these BLs in Ukraine? And nobody cared. And I kept saying it every day. You could look at my shows. And then finally, after about, I don't know, 5 times, I kept saying it every day. About the 5th day, they started talking about it. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there with those biolabs, that's for sure.
There's 300 of them around the world, they found out. There's hundreds of them that are funded by us, and they're all over the whole world, bro.
Yeah, we're ready. They're ready to drop bioweapons on the whole planet, probably. Look at this. U.S. tells Europe that Russia wanted armed drones, and Beijing responds. So they're showing you the shit they got. They're more fear. Yeah, be scared. You don't even need a pilot to drop these bombs. This is what they do, people. But I would put it past them to really do stuff, too. You know, maybe they want to wipe out 95% of us, right? Ain't that their goal? Reduce it to like 500 million people?
I mean, yeah, that's what they want.
Now, if everybody started watching, a lot of cops now getting shot and beat up, they want this. They want the cops to go against the people. You know, they're going to keep pushing and pushing, making the cops more like stormtroopers till the people can't take it anymore. And then the cops are going to figure, well, it's them against us now, which they're kind of trained to do already. They're claiming 7 cops in Phoenix have gotten shot already this year. Sure. Well, you're making these guys enforce tyranny. I mean, what do you expect? You expect people to just sit there and put up with this shit?
You know what's crazy?
Outnumbered is here. Good morning. And, we got a special guest from India, Asfaran. He probably has some crazy news over there. And he's saying they won't be able to do that. They're not gods. I get it. I hope they won't do it. But, you know, I don't put nothing past these crazy people. They claim, I mean, there's a lot of claims out there. The real reason why Trump stepped down is they basically had nukes set up in the United States in different states. They say 25 of them.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, well, this is what they're claiming. And they're claiming that he stepped down because he was concerned about the populace. You know, they were threatening to use them if he didn't step out.
Why is he trying to come back?
Right. That's why I don't believe it.
It's all bullshit, bro.
I know it is, but this is what they try to do. They try to put fear into everyone. Now, in reality, we have these helicopters that can sniff shit. They can sniff what you ate for dinner last night while you're shitting on your toilet bowl. So they have these helicopters they're called sniffers. And what they do is they fly around. They could sniff plutonium, all kinds of shit. So I don't believe there's any nukes in the United States. I don't think they would allow that. But, you know, this is the shit they're telling us. trans kids mafia goes berserk when accused of being child abusers. This is the shit we're dealing with, the upside down world. Here, let's see what upside down world we're thinking about here. So this is some weirdo, and they're over here telling us, yeah, I mean, look, I don't think a person that's transgender is a child abuser. That don't mean, they just like to be a girl if they're a guy, or a guy, a guy if they're a girl. I mean, all right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, the congenitive bias behind anti-price gouging laws. What is this? Yeah, that's Americans. They don't know any better. I don't understand how much people just going to sit back. I'm wondering, like, what is it going to take? I think what it's going to take is they're going to have to wait on bread lines. I think that's what it's going to take to wake up a lot of Americans, because they're still listen, I got people I live with here in Jersey now. I talk to them. These people act like nothing's going on in the world, like everything's fine, like everything's good. It's just, this is the way things happen. This is the way things go. They're going about their everyday business like everything's fine, which is good, I guess, for their health. But let's be real and understand that demonic forces are running this world right now. This is the new thing they're doing, the new trend. They want, the new trend is you're cool if you support Ukraine. So that's the new trend now. Let's see what else. They'll be selling out of here. Do you know they sold out of Ukrainian flags in America, and they burn American flags? Go figure, this country. This is what they want the people to do. Pfizer's pushing for a fourth shot booster. Another Clinton associate busted for child sex abuse. But, the Clintons don't know anything about it, Hanging out with Epstein, I mean. They're hanging out with Epstein, but they didn't know anything about him. They thought he was just a regular guy. Why are the leftists and elitists so happy about skyrocketing gas prices? Because they're making more money and they're doing less work. And they love to make our lives miserable. They want to, I've been saying this for a long time. Before they start hitting us with food shortages, which they are already, but like they're hitting us with gradual ones. They want to drain every nickel out of every middle class person's pocket.
I keep trying to tell people, if you want to really survive, like if you want to survive this shit, you have to begin this summer, like right now. Fuck storing food and all that bullshit. You need to start growing food, because even the food you're going to buy is straight poison. You need to grow food. You need to grow food and start setting up a sustainable lifestyle where you're not, reliant on this fucking system to live, because everyone that is reliant is going to perish.
And there are a lot of people now, believe it or not. I was watching a guy, you can grow stuff inside your home. It is expensive, though, to set it up. So there's a cost factor to grow food in, like for the city people.
No, you can't. Can't live in the city.
Yeah. So
it says it straight up in even the Bible. It says, "Come out of Babylon, or you're going to suffer her plagues."
yeah,
you're going to suffer her plagues.
People are going to have to suffer first before they start to leave. This is what
you ain't going to have a chance to leave. By the time it begins, you're done. You're swallowed up.
Well, this is what people are going to wait. They wait to the very near end. You know that.
I don't know who you're saying people, but ignorant people, yeah.
Yeah, most
smart people already got out of the city.
Most people that are still in these big cities are ignorant.
I agree.
Meta clarifies policy on calls for assassinating heads of state. So let's see what this is. Meta, which is Facebook now in Hebrew, which means death. It's so nice to have that name, right? Meta, death. I wonder why they did that. Because they're demonic. Has changed its policy guidance on tolerance to hate speech to prohibit condoning violence against Russians in general and to ban calls of deaths to head of state. So I don't know why they're all of a sudden now saying you can't threaten, Russians head of state. Well, now all of a sudden they're on Russia's side, so that's weird. I would think they would be with the American socialist, communist, demonic party. Let's call it the demonic party, because they are demonic. Let's not even give them the credit of being a communist or a socialist. Let's call them demon people, devil worshippers. I think you have to worship the devil to be this evil in the government. So I think that's why they're all doing what they do. They think Lucifer made a deal with them and said, hey, I'm just as powerful. Don't worry, I got you. Halts iPhone production at factories in Shenzhen due to lockdown. So I don't know where that is. I guess it's in China. So I guess they halted the factories, the slave labor, because people are starting to not want to buy iPhones anymore. Anybody, I don't know why you would buy an iPhone just because you think it's better or you like them. You want to support a company that enslaves people. So anybody out there that's against slavery and buys an iPhone, you're a hypocrite. Just so you know, you could talk your talk, bullshit. I hear people all the time on YouTube talking about all this shit about slavery, and I want to know what kind of phone you have. Because if you got an iPhone, you're a hypocrite. Okay?
They're all slavery made, bro. Even Androids.
Well,
what do you think? There are different factories for iPhones in China that make different phones? Come on, bro.
I don't know. But listen.
It's the same model. They're all working under slave labor. Samsung, all these companies. Where do you think the phones come from? They're not coming from America.
But at least we could go after one company. What the hell?
You got to go after all of it. Fuck the phones. Throw your phone out. Fuck the internet. Stop going online. Stop playing with the fucking computer, bro. Shut all this shit off. Cancel your fucking electricity, bro.
Mike, what you're saying is not gonna happen. So let's be
real. What I'm saying needs to happen. People need to hear it. You got to put it in their head that this shit has to go away.
Yeah, well, I think
the more we participate in this fuckery, the further it goes.
Look, if people, even if you want to say Androids, they're using slave labor, which I believe. But there's a lot of different companies that are Android, so maybe some of them aren't, maybe Motorola. But let's just say they all are. At least if we make a statement and crush Apple, it'll make the other companies go, holy shit, we're next. We better stop.
Nobody's going to get crushed by people going, oh, slave labor. I'm not going to buy an iPhone. That's retarded.
Well, I think enough people did it.
This is more woke propaganda that you've been fed.
I haven't been fed. I haven't been fed no propaganda.
Well, where'd you learn it?
I just made that. I learned that they're making these phones and Apple phones.
Who?
They're in China. They're using slave labor.
Who told you this? It was a person that told you this, or was it some bullshit that popped up on the internet?
A lot of people. Alex Jones, news channels, all different.
They're all liars.
Put them back.
All these people are lying.
Okay.
Now what? What do we do?
So now what do we? Why are you? What we're here to talk about news, and you're here to just tell everybody to stop participating.
I'm saying it's all fake.
All right. So now what?
Just stop doing it.
All right. So do we have a show here that we're going to talk about what's going on, or everything is fake?
Tell these people how we could, stop doing the system. How we could stop participating.
That's not what this show is about. The show's about the news.
But the news is fake.
Doesn't matter. We're going over it.
All right.
And we're trying to decipher what's fake and what isn't. And mostly everything is fake, but we're trying to just let people see how much fake news there is. I'm going over all the fake news.
It don't matter if we do this, though. We can do this every day.
This is my show.
I feel you.
I'm actually arguing with my own son, by the way, in case you didn't know who he is. Just so you know.
We're breaking balls.
Stop.
Well, if you're going to break my balls, then get off.
I'm not breaking your balls. I'm just being real with it. That this whole
shit this isn't what my show is about.
I feel
my show is about going over the news. I'm gonna come on your show and talk about how the Bible's bullshit.
I mean, you can, but that'd be blasphemy.
No, it ain't, because it's been rewritten. There's a lot of shit in there that's bullshit. And you know that. Here we go.
I agree. There's a lot of bullshit things.
All right.
The whole story.
I'm just here to help Pop's son bust his balls. Nah, I'm playing. What's going on, Pop?
I don't even. I moved out and he's still busting my balls.
Bro, don't you understand that YouTube, you need drama? You want viewers, bro? We need to start yelling at each other, all right?
Hey, he sounds like he's got the algorithm figured out, Pop.
He's not wrong, but I'm going over fake news and bullshit.
It's okay. You could prove what you believe. I'm just being devil's advocate. You know what I mean? You can't just have an echo chamber.
Well, we can't say every single.
Wait. Echo chambers are fun depending on the subject.
Well, we can't say everything is fake. There has to be something real. If a lady with her iPhone takes a picture of a fire somewhere, I don't think she works for the news channels.
So what's the argument over what's real, what's fake?
No, the argument is we're going over the news and just showing, talking about different subjects of what they're doing out there. And my son just basically wants everybody to throw out everything they own and go live in the woods. And it's not going to happen. So now we have the other reality to face, And that's what we're going over. I'm going over, well, what you say is true. And if everybody did what my son wants people to do, yes.
It's not my own will, though. That's the will of the Almighty.
But it doesn't matter. People aren't going to do it.
I know. That's why they're going to get
the
destroyed.
will of the Almighty, there's no wilderness that's safe. There's only one place that's safe, and it's a cave called Petra. Everywhere else, by the time the Armageddon war hits, you're fucked no matter where you are on this
Who said
planet.
anything about Armageddon war?
That they can see us no matter where we hide, above ground, below ground, it don't matter.
That's right.
I'm just saying that we can't hide from them, but we have to escape from their systems. We're sitting here helping them perpetrate.
But you're not gonna get millions and millions and millions of people to just disappear and say, I'm not going to participate. That's not a possibility. These people are going to take the mark of the beast when it comes.
A lot of people already took it.
So
you got to think, man, it's going to be laid on their heart.
I don't think that's the mark of the beast. I think you're going to have to still be able to sell and buy. I think that ship is going to come out.
It's a precursor just to see where they can push the bar.
Yep. But what I'm trying to do is help some people wake up and see the fake news and what kind of could be real, and then can make some logical decisions and maybe eventually stop participating in a lot of shit. But
I feel you, but like I've heard the argument.
It's not going to happen your way.
I've heard the argument that it's not the mark, right? I've heard that argument. But here's my counter argument, and it's very simple. Does it alter your DNA or not? And is your DNA the image of the Almighty Creator or not?
Well,
if that's the case, if you got any shots at birth, that altered your DNA. And I understand what you're saying. That's what he was originally mad about when the fallen ones came and mixed with our women. They were changing his creation. I understand that. I'm very well versed in all of the
What shots do you know that alter the DNA of man?
Say what?
What other shots are you aware of that alter the DNA of man?
All of those fucking shots.
In what way?
All of them mRNA-based shots.
Well, they only came out with that recently.
Doesn't matter if they came out with it recently. I mean, shit, mRNA has been used in the process of shots for a while, believe it or not.
No, this technology has only been used in this method. It's never been tested on humans before.
Oh, they tested it.
That's what they tell you. But there's evidence.
It's not in there.
But we're not. But Mike, we're not here to talk about that because you know what that means. When we start talking about this shit, they'll just take this shit down. So
right.
I'm just saying. Talk about it a little differently. Don't use the words. Use codes.
I don't think we're using the exact word.
Well, you're using the mRNA word.
I'm not using the word. I'm just saying it's in other shit, but it's not been tested.
I think the mark of the beast is that, but it's gonna eventually have to become, if you don't have it, then you can't buy and sell. But right now you could still buy and you could still sell. So
did it say when? Did it say when you couldn't buy and sell though?
No, so they're gonna have to implement that in the future, where if you don't get the magic potion, you're not going to be able to buy and sell. but they will be putting a chip in people. Didn't they say it's going to go in your right hand or your forehead? So they do have that chip that they can put in people in the future, and you're going to have to, when they have digital currency, you're going to have this chip installed in your body, or you won't be able to buy, sell, or go to work and make money. That's how they're going to do it.
Well, they got to crash the economy first, and then they could implement that. It's almost here.
Well, they're getting close. Does radiation alter DNA? I don't know. And we got, my friend Mads Rasmussen is in the house. And we have a special guest. I don't know if some of you don't know who Mads is, but I will. I'm going to pull up a video. I'm going to have it somewhere.
Yeah, I know who Mads is.
Yeah. So Mads, back in the day, was on television. You know, he made videos and stuff. I had it yesterday. I'm just going to look for it. But let me see if I could find it. Oh, here we go. I'm going to download it into my thing. I don't know, Mike, have you ever seen this guy? He comes on. You know Mads, by the way.
Mads is a wild boy, bro.
Yeah, you know who he is. So let me see where I have it. Yeah. Let's check here. Videos and hold on, let me find it. I had it. I just had it and it disappeared. And I hate that. I'm gonna find it. So anyway, let's continue. Let me just put this in a different place. This way I can get it right away. I'm not computer savvy like a lot of people. And all right, so we'll do right there. And I transferred it over there. Let me see if I can bring it in. But Mads, how's it going over there in I think he lives in Denmark or something like that. So how's it going over there? And some reason it's not coming up. I don't know why. There it is. I got it loaded now. I'm going to put it on for everybody. Because we have to show everybody who Mads is. He's the man. Once I seen his video, I was cracking up. Oh, so he's telling you he's on the toilet. Ha ha! Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have cameras in it. Did any of you guys ever see the South Park episode where they put cameras in your bathroom?
No, but I believe they probably already have technology with that shit in our bathrooms.
Yeah. But here's Mads anyway, back in the day singing on a show. I'll put it here for you, and we're going to play it.
King Kane.
When the night is hot and the moon is round, I'll be there to set the scene. Yeah. You hesitate, feel alright, so dirty and obscene. Yeah. Feel the hunger in your bones, the hunger of desire. Been so long and now the flame has gone into the fire. Reach the stars above. I know that you hear me, baby, howling at the moon, yeah. But you don't have to wait no more. I'll come and get you soon, yes I will. A perfect night, black and white, to lead you to the stars. Yeah. And if you want tomorrow, baby, let's take a trip to Mars. Everybody, come on. Anarchy and ecstasy, we thought to see it love. Waking up that you and me reach the stars above.
pale moonlight. See, I'm gonna do you right. No need to do you wrong because someone's gonna turn you on and I'll be your ecstasy. And you're gonna be with me. No need to explain. I'm talking about the moon and rain because I'm gonna be the king. And you're gonna be the queen. It's gonna be okay because someone's gonna have the scene. So I'll look at you to start. And we're gonna shoot some miles. I love the with desire. The flip to turn the fire and I'll be your ecstasy. And you're gonna be with me. No need to explain. We're talking about the moon and rain because I'm gonna be the one and only. He's gonna make you feel so lonely. Talking about the land and sea. We're talking about the you and me. Woman on the back of me. So play a this a track. I'm gonna make you rock on me. So I'm gonna make you talk because we're ever about to stop. But then we're number in my mind. So cool it over there. Let me cool it in the sea. We're ever about to play me. Listen up for the beat. Cool it over there. Listen me cool it over here. I'm gonna rubber day. Say me check yourself. Lisa check baby check your health. Lisa check baby check yourself. Lisa check baby check your health.
Lamborghini ecstasy, we come to see your love. Breaking over that you and me. Oh, baby, you know. Lamborghini ecstasy, we come to see your love. Breaking over that you and me. Reach the stars above.
So there it is. There's Mads in live.
How many of them backup singers did you bang, Mad?
Oh, he said he was having party after party. I'm gonna do a show one day. I want to do a whole show on Mads. We'll put a few of his songs on.
Bro,
Talk
everyone's
about-
just boogieing out in the house,
Fuck
bro.
yeah, make him tell us about some of them old school house parties he used to throw.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about his whole journey because he's been on a real. I spoke to him a little bit about his journey. It's a wild journey, so it'll be interesting. You know what I found funny though? In the whole video is the pants that rapper was wearing. They were like cow pants, and they were huge. Like you see the clothes, the difference in clothes back then. It was crazy.
Man, I miss my MC Hammer pants.
Yeah, but that guy, he comes on shows. Nobody knows who he is. He acts like a regular guy. He doesn't never tell you about his music career. He tells you he's a musician, but then one day he told me, and I went to watch his video, and I actually like his voice. I like the way they come. I like that. That's pretty groovy song there. I like it. It's back in my time, though. A little more in the '90s and stuff.
Well,
Giuseppe was
Even if
breaking
he's
it
not
down just
doing
now,
it
right?
anymore, I will say Mad is far from a normal individual, though. He stands out in a crowd.
Absolutely. And here he is. He just got off the toilet. I guess he there he is. Hold
What's
on,
up, Mad?
Let's get this.
Oh, what's up, man? Something's wrong with my. I just thought I was on the, my headphones.
No, you're fine.
No, you're good. We can hear you fine.
Yeah, but it should be on my headphones. It's weird. It's weird.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Go in the audio settings, and you should have an option that says default speaker.
Yeah,
and
but
then
it's
headphones.
okay now. But there's nobody. Nobody. I live, and there's nobody. Nobody can say nothing to me here. It's like I live because I play the guitar, electric guitar, and I loop the shit. And I play loud. Let me be honest. I do.
Oh yeah, you was getting down, my guy.
Yo, we're gonna
Yeah.
do one day meds. I want to do a whole show on you. Like we'll
That would be great. I would love that because that's a long time since they made a show about me. That's
we'll talk about your journey. As basically you were a star, man. You were a rock star.
Yeah, I was. I must admit that.
We'll talk about the woman. We'll talk about the drugs. We'll talk about we'll show some of your music and stuff.
Yeah, that would be fun. I have some other shit from televisions actually.
Yeah, and it's in your family line, but we'll save it for the show. But I know your dad. You told me, so we'll go. If you get together your whole thing, we'll do me and you, just me and you. We'll do the show.
Be a good thing. That would be great. That would be a great show actually.
That'd be an excellent show.
Actually, Danish people would love it too because they never heard my story. Actually, I just got a job today.
Oh, really? What kind of job though? Not musical?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell my story and my journey as a musician and my journey as an addict.
Yeah.
An addict. And how it is from flying high, falling low,
Right.
And, I'm going to tell how it is with all the rich and famous. There are some weird wipe around these
Oh,
people.
we're gonna go through the whole thing. Me and you, we got to hook up. We'll get together. We'll get all the questions.
Yeah.
This way, kind of, you tell me about a lot of things, and then I can ask you those questions on the show.
Yeah.
I think it'll be excellent.
Yeah, that would.
I mean,
And I'm
people in your country, they'll be hearing some like guy with my voice interviewing you. They're gonna get a crack out of
yeah,
it.
they're gonna freak out. They're gonna
Be
think,
like,
"Oh,
oh.
fucking David Letterman or something."
Yeah. I got to set up my studio better. What I'm going to start doing, I want to get a green screen.
You know,
I'm
yeah.
going to get a desk, like a round desk, like a
Oh, I get it,
like a
yeah.
circle, like a half a circle desk. I'm going to set up a whole studio soon.
Yeah, because that's actually these desks, they're getting cheaper, and but now the prices are getting up because of the war. you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. And I think and also the United States, the prices are to the roof right now, and
Yep.
like gas prices, and like it's the same here with gas prices. We tried to yesterday. We made it over like what do America have contra Russia? You know what I mean? Like in the Navy, there's this channel which shows what the Navy got and what the Russian Navy got.
Yeah, they were showing that, and they were comparing to China too. They show
Yeah,
you how many ships they have, how many we have, but
Yeah.
our superior power is our aircraft carriers and our air power.
Yeah,
We have major air power over everybody.
yeah,
Except Russia.
11 aircraft carriers. 11.
Yeah, we got as many as like almost everybody combined.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. The reason
You
is
have everybody combined.
Yeah.
I think, sorry to say, but I think England got 4, maybe 3.
Yeah,
or two.
let's see. Total aircraft carriers. We probably got more than NATO combined for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I know you got.
I know Japan's building one beautiful one, brand new. Let's
Okay.
see. So there are. America has 20. China has 4. France has 4. Japan has 4. Looking up some of this stuff. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me put it on the screen. Maybe I could show everybody. And there we go. Let me see. Remove and add to stream. So you got a list. So USA got 20. So you got China, France, Japan, South Korea, Italy, Australia, Egypt, Russia, United Kingdom, Spain, Brazil, and India. They're the only countries that have an aircraft carrier. The rest of the countries don't. So let's add that up. 4, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 23, 20. There's 25 aircraft carriers in the rest of the countries, and we have 20. So there's 45 aircraft carriers, and we got 20 of them in America. So we're mobile. We're ready. We got 4 here. Here's the percentage. We have 44% of the aircraft carriers. Now, China is actually going into mass production of aircraft carriers now.
Oh shit!
It takes about 2 years to build one.
Yeah.
So they're starting to produce them now, and they want to try to catch up to us, which is not going to be easy.
No, that's not going to happen until the next year. But they're thinking, you're still going to build your Navy. You're not going to stop building. That's just because you're the biggest.
Well, you got to have a Navy to support the aircraft carriers because they're a target, So you when they go out with an aircraft carrier, they go out with a whole fleet to protect that one aircraft carrier.
Yeah, that's true. It's but we were looking through what they have of and I was saying that convoy, he has to take it easy with that convoy in Ukraine because they scratched all of it almost. It's like it could go to the fucking trash.
Japan's building some like sci-fi shit aircraft
Oh.
carrier. I'll show you it. Here's a video. They're building some real crazy shit. See, there's like the fleets, but I don't know if they show you actually the Japanese aircraft carrier. Let's see. No, they don't show it to you. Let me see if I can find. That's what it looks like. It looks like some sci-fi shit. But let me see if I can find an image of it. They don't really have it, so I guess it's a futuristic aircraft carrier. But if you look at this picture, they show you. You see it right there?
Yeah.
So this shit looks like some sci-fi. I won't be surprised if this thing could go out of the ocean and start flying, like some Battlestar Galactica shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. But
You will never know because that could easily be the truth.
but the Japanese are trying to build something really wild. Japan's getting ready. They're not really, supposed to have armies and all that stuff, but they're getting ready. They're starting to build a lot of stuff. They're getting ready for war. I guess they feel that something's coming. So
Yeah.
I hope nothing comes. I hope this is all bullshit propaganda, but it doesn't look too promising for the world right now.
No, and that's another thing. Yeah, and people. There was actually this dude. And I don't think he knows how Europe looks. Because a lot of people don't, and a lot of people don't think Europe is big, but Europe is huge.
Yeah.
But I know America is huge, but Europe is actually huge if you go to all the countries. It's like it's not the same.
It's a continent, basically.
Yeah, it is actually. Europe is
Yeah.
a continent. It is.
I mean, it's like if you divided the United States into little countries, it would be like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, something like that.
But
And
I think it's big, though. It is.
But the funny thing is, when it's countries, funny enough, they have their own language.
Right.
I can go like, and I'm not shitting you here, pops. I can go 100 miles, and they
Uh-huh.
talk totally German. They wouldn't
Right.
understand the shit I was saying. I could go the other way, and they would
Uh-huh.
understand me all over the rest of Scandinavia. But if you go down in Germany, just over the border, they don't understand shit.
But did they consider Russia part of Europe?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because
Maybe.
Russia is like gigantic.
No. Not in EU. No, it's not. Wait.
But you know what the biggest country in Europe is? I thought I knew the answer, and I had the right answer. But
Is that
France.
UK?
France.
France. Yeah. I thought it was Spain.
No,
No,
France is 248,000 square miles. Yeah, I'll show you. Now, they're saying Russia's part of Europe, but I don't consider Russia part of Europe. So you got France. If you get rid of Ukraine, because they're kind of part of Russia to me, Spain would be number 2.
Yeah.
And then Sweden. I didn't know Sweden was that big.
Well, Sweden is kind of big.
And you got Germany, Finland, Norway, Poland.
There's 80 millions in Germany. In Sweden, there's nobody.
Right. No, Germany's a populated country.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now, have you ever been to like Spain?
Yeah. Many times.
I heard
Many
Spain
times.
is beautiful.
Beautiful. Pops, you will love it. It's like
It's like Italy, I hear.
yeah. Italy's beautiful too. I've been in Italy many times.
How about France?
France many times.
So, what people do you not like from countries in Europe? What people do you like? Like, give us the breakdown. Because in America, we have the idea that the French people are arrogant.
French are arrogant assholes, to be honest with you.
Okay, so we agree on that.
Yeah.
Now, what people did you find like friendly and you like? You love the people?
I love the people in Morocco, in Africa, and I love the people in Spain.
Okay.
I love Italy. Italy is very, but in Spain, I have a love connection with Spain because I had a house down there.
Oh,
But
okay.
we had, so I've been there like You know, like if you go to the summer house, I was going to Spain, even though it took like 2 days to go down there. It did not matter with my dad. It was fun. I was there for 3 months at a time, you know.
I heard
And
it's gorgeous.
yeah, and if you go down South Spain, then it's all warm all year.
Right.
You can look over to Africa.
Right.
That's,
So it's like Florida would be in the U.S., Spain, and
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
What do you call Gibraltar? Gibraltar. What do you call Gibraltar?
Now I've met a lot of German people. Now,
Yeah,
they are, in my opinion, they're intelligent and they're sarcastically funny, like in
yeah,
a way. Like they can't. I met a lot of them in the Dominican Republic, and they were like, "Your country, America's crazy." I go, "What do you mean?" They go, "There's too many laws." They said, "As soon as you get off the plane, there's like all hundreds of laws. Do this, don't do that. Walk here, move here." He said, "I felt like I was in like a concentration camp." I said, "Yeah, well, welcome to America." I call this the United States of no happiness. They don't want people to be happy here. They only want you to go to work, shut up, come home. You're allowed to watch an hour or two of Netflix. You know, you're a peasant. Watch a little Netflix, go to bed and wake up and go to work for your slave masters.
yeah.
That's the life here. There's no culture here. See, that's the one thing Europe has. You
Yeah,
go to these different countries, they got cultures.
Yeah, true.
You know,
But
and we don't have that here.
I love United States. You see, when you have too much culture, you
Mhm.
get used to it. So I found the culture in United States very interesting. Like your natives and shit like that.
Mhm.
And sorry to say, but I found the slave trade very awful. But it's a thing that happened, and it made like the U.S. have a lot of populated areas. But so I found myself in heaven because I like different. So I met people from all over the world, and when I was in the United States the first time, I was sleeping with a family from Vietnam, and a family from African American family. The grandfather was from Africa.
The theory of this country is great, and this country was great at one time, but it's gotten taken over for a while now.
Okay.
You know, you don't have to live in a People think, oh, well, communism, right? But let me explain to people. If you have more laws than any country in the world, is that really a free country? We have more laws than anywhere. So even though they tell us they're not directly telling us you can't do this, they make it a law. So if you do it, you broke the law. So it's almost the same shit. Now we may have a little bit of freedom here, like freedom of speech, but that they're trying to do away with that. And we do have a constitution, which a lot of countries don't. So we do have some benefits compared to other countries. This is still probably
something like the Constitution, but it's kind of different.
So I think before this country got totally corrupted, it probably was the greatest country. But now,
Yeah.
I don't even know what with this whole plague bullshit and the
Yeah.
lockdowns all over the world. I don't even know what country is really the best country right now. If you had to pick one to live in, because I don't know.
I'm staying here because the COVID rules. Because I was thinking going down to Spain to my friend. I was literally thinking because
Well,
he's like a millionaire and shit, so it would be a lot easier.
like Italy right now, the people living in tyranny.
Yeah,
Bad. It's real bad, Italy. They came out with a new law that kids can't play organized sports if they don't get their stuff.
What?
If they don't get shots, they can't. Like your kid wouldn't be able to play like in a soccer league with other kids if he don't get his his shots.
Soccer is like everything in Italy. So a kid, you want to play soccer. Believe me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're telling kids that you're not allowed to unless you go get it. So
But
they're
then he'll
forcing
get
it.
the job. He'll get the job.
Yeah, they will. But
Yeah.
that's tyranny.
That's
You're
it.
forcing children.
That is tyranny. I'll support you. You're right every step of the way. You know.
I'll tell
It
you,
is.
I think you're almost better off living in a poor country like the Dominican Republic. The people are poor, right? But
Yeah,
they still live, they party and they live a good life.
yeah.
You can't make poor people any poorer than they are.
No, I
You
was
know,
in Cuba. They were like living like that.
right? You couldn't make Cuba worse. They're already leaving at the bottom of the, you know.
Yeah.
So people are used to eating food that they get from the trees. You know, so you can't starve those people. They live off the jungle. So America, when they start doing shit to Americans, then Americans are gonna feel. Americans are soft. They're spoiled. They're not used to like Russia. If you told the Russian people, Sammy, get inside. I gotta get my dog. He's gonna round the door. Get in. If you told Russian people, we're gonna give you a loaf of bread, a piece of cheese, a bottle of vodka, because they gotta have their vodka, and
Yeah,
maybe a dozen eggs every day, and you're gonna have to live off of that. Those people could do it. If you told Americans to do that, they're not gonna be able to do it. They're gonna flip out. That's the difference. Those people are hardened in a lot of other countries. We're not a hardened people. We're soft.
Yeah.
Europeans too. Same thing.
I must admit, I was kind of shocked when I suddenly loved the grid when I was, from being famous. I was like coming all the way down. But we can talk about that another day.
We're gonna do it on the show for sure. Must have been cool though. Kids asking you for your autograph and shit like that. That's the cool feeling.
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
You know, girls coming up. Oh,
But when it's like when it's happening, it's like you're like,
you got to give me your email so we can email each other and we can get this show put together.
yeah. How do you want it?
Let me get a pen. I'll write it down, or you could just put it in the private chat.
No, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, nobody could see it but me.
Yeah, how about say he'd be best to put it in the private chat. Don't say it.
Yeah, just type it in the private chat. Nobody will have it but me and whoever, that's it.
I won't even look at it, man.
Exile, we don't worry about you.
It doesn't matter. It's okay.
We know where to find you, Exile.
I'm just saying, if it's not for me, I'm not gonna grab the number. What kind of weirdo would I look like calling somebody that didn't give me their number?
If you want, Rap Man, I'll give you my email and you can just email me. How's that?
No, I just emailed you. I just sent the email.
Oh, I got it. All right, I'll give you mine anyway.
I'm bad at remembering. I can't.
All right, so I'm gonna email you and then you'll know it's me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That would be cool, Pops.
Yeah, I'll do it after the show.
I was looking around. Yeah, I do actually, but
let me see if I can get into my Gmail right now. I'll do it. Let me see.
No, I don't have paper.
Yeah, because we got to set it up like a time, and we'll just. We don't even got to do it live if we don't want. I mean, we could just do it.
Danish cold.
We could record it, but we'll do it live. It don't matter.
People literally drink this over Coca-Cola.
What is it? I thought it was Coca-Cola.
No, it's called Harpo. And it's kind of funny because there's these famous people, they'd rather drink this shit than Coke. And we've never seen that before with cola, So
what
that's right.
Is it taste like a Dr. Pepper or something?
No, but it tastes like it's like a half breed. It's like not Pepsi, not Coke. It's like in between.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it tastes good, but it costs nothing.
That's even better.
It costs like $1 for like 2.5 liters.
Mads, what time is it where you are right now?
Well, it's like it's a good time. It's like it's 14:48, I think. No, it must be 14.
So 2:30 in the afternoon.
What time
Military.
is? What time is it?
1448 's what? 228 military time, right?
Yeah.
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 Yep. 228. Let's yeah, so I'm gonna think of some you should actually think of some questions that you would want to be like interviewed about, and I'll think of
Yeah.
some questions and we'll put them all together. I'm
And
gonna have to get a couple more videos of you singing.
I did not
Fine.
know I had a lot of famous. I did not know my ex-wife. She was a little sweet. I did not know that.
Mhm.
I come to find out when I just throw her to the curves. So she threw me through the curves, but I'm okay now. But the funny shit is, she actually made a lot of shit because I threw all shit away when I was angry one day. I burned my scrapbooks and shit like that. That's another thing.
Well,
We'll
we
get-
could always pull up some of your videos though online. You know, some of your music.
I have some other shit here also. I have some reviews where I get like 10 stars and shit like that. It's like I have some wonderful shit. You have to see one. So.
I mean, basically, it is. I sent you an email anyway. You'll see it later on. But
Yeah.
basically, you've been on the top and then you fell to the bottom.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, you know, you climbed your way up to the top and then you fell all the way to the bottom. You know, with
Yes.
the drugs. You know, so you got a good story to tell.
Yeah, I do, and that's actually what I'm going to do. That's my job. That's actually my job. That's it was like, oh, Matt, she's been half famous and shit like that. So they called me up. Do you want to do this? And I was like, oh yes, of course. Are you kidding me?
I even like the name King Kane.
Yeah, yeah. And we were
Now,
actually,
what was that? The name of the band itself?
yeah, and we're from '89, and they took our name in New York City, a band. And they're allowed because when our name was gone for like I think it was 5 years and we didn't renew it,
Right.
they took it and the New York band from New York, a hip hop band from New York.
Okay, but they're not. They never went anywhere anyway, did they?
No, I don't know. Actually, they're kind of famous. If you're right, King K, I promise they'll pop up.
I got you.
It's black dudes, R&B, no hip hop, real hip hop. But it's kind of funny they took the name. I was like, what? But it's crazy when people do that. Take your name and shit. Because that should be illegal actually. Because I was thinking doing a reunion. Not with the whole crew, but with some of the crew, because some of them are so famous today. They're like hi Mats, and like they will love when I'm there, but when I'm not there, they don't want to work with me right now. They're like on the top of their game. I wouldn't work with me if I would, but they're not like me. They're like they do what the manager says. They're not like me. I don't do what the manager says. I don't, never. I do what I feel like.
You should come to America and go on The Voice.
Yeah, I love that.
People love an underdog here in America. Like they'll love to hear a guy that made it and then he fell on drugs. Like people will be rooting for you here. Yeah, you could do it, man.
That's my dream. It always been my dream.
I mean, if you could still hit those notes, you're good.
I can. I can still. I actually.
And you still dance like that?
Actually, when I'm losing weight and when my legs are okay, I can. I still can. Actually, I can.
I think you'll have to do it a little more, just standing in one area and going.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do it like that.
You can't bounce and shit.
My lungs and.
How old were you when you were on that video? How old were you there in that video?
I was like
30.
Yeah, something like that. 28, I think. 94.
Well, you had your run for a while. At least you know what it is to be on top. You know.
Yeah. And we were actually, as you said, climbing. We were not just a one-hit wonder. We
Right.
were like all of them. We were like top like 100. You know, we were like down there, and we played the small gigs. The gigs got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and huge.
I know you told me you were like doing a show with like 30,000 people. That is
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. I think that's the record. You know, we played some decent shows with like 1,000,
Right.
2,000, 3,000.
And that right, and that's pretty big. That's like a theater. I mean, that's big.
Yeah, and you must know all these 3,000, 4,000 are better than 30,000 because you can actually see a lot of the 3,000 people. Not all of them,
Right.
but you can see
Like-
like 500 in the front almost.
Like the Apollo Theater, something like that.
Yeah.
I actually went to a lot of concerts. I never enjoyed almost any of them because they were too big. Like I went to see Billy Joel and Elton John in the Meadowlands, right? Didn't like it because I didn't have front row seats, you know, and they look like little ants almost, like a football game. But I went to see a group. I don't know if you remember them back in the day, Styx, STYX.
Yeah, Sticks.
I went to see them in a small theater in Manhattan. About 4,000 people were in there. It was like the theaters they use for plays. It was the best show I ever seen. I was in like the 7th row and right in the middle. It was perfect. Like I was not too close, but close enough. Maybe I was in the 10th row even, but like it was just a perfect distance.
Yeah.
And they were like right there. It was awesome. It was just a great show.
Oh, nice.
I would rather go to a small theater to see shows than a big theater. I don't like the big theater.
We were actually playing in an old theater. I was always saying to my manager, "Can you do a fucking gig in the old theater?" And he was like, "Why are you so crazy with them theaters?" And I'm like, "Because we have a lot of beauty in Denmark that we don't show."
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, I'll try." And he made one.
Where I lived before the coronavirus, they had something called Rockfest, and they'd have like 5 or 6 big fucking stages put up, and there was no set seating and shit. It was just all outside, and you could just go from one area to one band to one area to another band. That shit was pretty kick ass, but coronavirus fucked it all up.
But were all the bands playing at the same time, Exile?
Yeah. The stages were far enough apart that you wouldn't hear the music interfering with one stage from another. Yeah, they were all.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. How could you not be interfering?
Look it up. It was called Rockfest. It was fucking awesome. It was a seasonal thing. They held it once a year, every year.
Do you know when your tattoo this scratch? Oh, I don't know. But
yeah, they is.
Do you know Roskilde? Do you know Roskilde Festival?
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's one of the biggest ones in Europe and actually the world. There are 90,000 there. But I tell you, when you're there, it's like a fucking city. It's so huge.
Yeah.
When you go there, you like walk like miles. No, you don't, but you feel like you've been walking for. But I think you do, because you're right. You have to walk from one stage to another because there's music all the time on all the stages at once.
Yeah.
You know, Mads, I'm going to ask you the question when we do our show. But they made a movie about this band that wasn't big, and this music industry guy came to them, and he was going to make a deal with them. But it was a deal with the devil. Like you had to sell your soul to become a famous rock band. And they did. And they sold their souls. But it's like a comedy. I was going to ask you, did anybody ever approach you to sell your soul? Because if you sell your soul, you get big. But don't answer now. We'll save it for the show.
Actually, I got a good story about that.
Yeah, so don't use it. We're going to use it for the show.
Yes. Yeah. But, there were like many funny, characters. That you meet everywhere, like on discotheques, like if you were a DJ or like if you went to many clubs, you know, there are always these people who go in strange clothes, but always to all the parties at the same club every time you go there. And so, because when you're out playing all the time, sometimes you want to go out, have a beer, be normal,
Right.
be like, and so we had this place, you know, where every musician go. It was everybody knew that, and everybody knows of that to this day. Um, you know, we have to go to a party sometimes. Everybody was doing coke in the 80s. You know that.
The
You know
whole half of America was doing cocaine.
that.
Yeah. That's why we were so productive.
Denmark was
The other
not.
half was doing crack.
What happened?
I said the other half was doing crack.
Yeah, well, what happens with a lot of people with cocaine is if you do it for a long time. Now, I never did crack. I just didn't do it. But I knew a lot of people that did. What happens is the reason why they do that is because they don't get high from coke anymore. So they go to the next level. And they can't freebase because it's too expensive. So they start smoking crack and they getting high, even like a better high, and they get addicted to that shit. But I stood away from that crack. Your
Sorry,
teeth fall out from that
sorry,
shit.
but what's the difference between freebase and crack?
Well, freebasing, I think it's just more pure. But I don't think there's a big difference in crack is like
Well,
chemical.
I heard from coke people to snort coke and smoke crack before. Like coke could last a half an hour to an hour, where a crack high is only a 10-minute high.
Yeah, it's even shorter than that. I heard like 5 minutes. I heard like when you do coke, you get like a rush when you first do it, and then it just mellows out. Crack is like you get that rush and it don't go away for a few minutes. You feel great, but I never did it. I think it makes your heart race a lot too. Crack.
Yeah, it does.
Both of them
dangerous.
would.
No, I freebased a lot. Let me be honest. I didn't do crack.
Well, freebasing is I heard is real good too. I never did it, but it's it's a pure high though. It's really good.
I'm telling you that I did it a lot. I'm not saying a lot.
You did a lot of speedballing too, right?
Yeah, I did. That's why I got scars like forever.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll get into it.
yeah.
We gotta save it for our show with King Kane.
Rock and roll scars. That's why I got a G note here. And Elvis's. You remember Elvis's logo?
Oh, okay. Yep.
It
There you go.
Yeah,
Thunderbolt.
TCB taking care of business with the lightning bolts.
Yeah, he loved that lightning bolt.
Yeah, me and my friend, we were like, we're big Elvis fans. So we've been to some Elvis shows. You know, we always loved Elvis. You know, it's like if they, you know, all our dads, they were their inspiration was Elvis.
He's the
Because-
king at his time. I mean, you know, he was the
Yeah,
king.
here in Europe, the King was a big inspiration to a lot of young kids. Because in Italy, in Spain, in Europe, and he couldn't come here because of the Colonel, Colonel Palmer.
Yeah, his colonel there. But I'll tell you, Elvis had to be like, could you imagine your Elvis like in his prime? He was the shit. Movies.
Yeah.
He made movies. He was a good-looking guy. He danced like, you know, he had soul. I mean, like
He was like
a spy for the CIA once.
what happened?
Did y'all know that? Elvis was a spy for the CIA once.
Yeah, he did. They made a movie about it.
what the fuck?
I didn't know they made a movie about it, but that's crazy.
Yeah, they made a
I
movie
never
about
heard
it.
that.
He met
That's
Nixon
true.
and shit, and they used them to get
Is that
information.
true?
Yeah,
That's true.
he was an informant,
I
basically.
know
for
that
them.
shit. Where can you find that shit? On Google, maybe?
Yeah, he did it like an informant type of thing for the CIA. They sent him to infiltrate. I think one of these. What was it? One of the world leaders or some shit.
One of the world leaders. Yeah,
Because he was a big Elvis fan.
yeah.
Hey, did you ever see the movie where they're two comedians? They go to North Korea.
Yeah.
And the North Korean president I forgot who was in the movie, but it's like a spoof.
Oh,
man.
I know that one. I know that one. He
Yeah,
loves
yeah. It came out probably about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
that
funny
shit was
movie.
pretty funny.
It was the two guys, I think, in the Wedding Crashes. Those two guys. What were their names?
I can't even remember Pops,
But
but
you know the two comedians
I
in the
do
Wedding
remember
Crashes.
the movie. I
Yeah.
do remember the movie. The movie was freaking hilarious. I watched that movie about the same time that I watched that Borat movie.
Yep. He would like pull the P. He had these guys like he was a big basketball fan and shit. And he had a court and he was like a regular guy. He was into rap music. Like they made it really funny. It was good.
Pops, that's my house down in Spain.
Wow, beautiful. You
Yeah.
still have it?
No, not her.
No, I said
Talking
you still
about
have
the
that.
house.
You still have the house?
No.
Oh, you sold it?
Yeah. That's it.
I got you. Hey, but
He said, "No,
hey,
not
it's
her."
always about the money. Listen, I was on. I should make a show about me because I was on top of the world at one point. I mean, like I was just printing money at one point. I was making a lot of money, and I went as high as a normal kind of average guy could go. I mean, I didn't become like a super millionaire, but I was like, I was making crazy money, 300,000-400,000 a year. I mean, I was living large. And I went all the way up that ladder, stood there for a while. And basically I almost brought it down myself. I started getting to the point where I didn't want to worship money anymore. And I started to find the Almighty God a little more. And I realized that money can't save your soul. And that money was dangerous for me too. I did a lot of crazy stuff with that money.
You do that, Pop. Money.
Not just that possible. When you're feeling down, money could never bring your mood up, neither.
Yeah, but I tell you the truth. You know what I used to tell people? I don't believe that anymore, but I used to tell people that say money can't make you happy don't have any. Because I'll be honest, money does make you happy for a while, but it can't save your soul.
Yeah, but like if a loved one dies or a relationship is broken up, that money ain't gonna make you feel better.
No, it ain't. Hey, look how many rich people
Get better whiskey and better coke.
have lost their sons or daughters, right? Like, look at Bill Cosby, for instance. Let's
How
just
many
say.
people lost them and never recovered mentally?
Right. I don't think Bill Cosby ever recovered when he lost his son. I don't think John Travolta, it took him a long time. I don't know if you realize John Travolta kind of disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
And that's when he lost his son.
Yeah.
It broke him.
I remember that.
And then he made a comeback with Pulp Fiction. But it took him a while. You lose a child. I don't wish almost my worst enemy ever to lose their child. Losing a child has got to be the worst thing I think a human being could go through, almost.
And I've seen parents breaking down decades later after losing their children. Just struggling with it still.
I have a friend, there were 4 brothers. And I grew up with all 4 of them. They were like a year apart, all 4 of these guys, right? And their mother lost one of my real good friends. He was 19. He died. And the mother never got over it. Like 20 years later, was still like he died yesterday. She would cry. She'd walk around like a zombie. And then she lost another son again, like 30 years later. Okay, so she lost one son at like 19 and another son at like 49 he was. That mother and father, I wouldn't want to be them for all the money in the world. Lose 2 kids? You're supposed to die before your children.
Before I owned my own house, I had a landlord. Him and his wife lost a daughter and a son. I was like, oh. I told him all the time, I admire you. I don't know how you even find the strength to carry on.
I'll be honest. I agree with that. But, I guess people then sometimes move on for, like, in the memory of that child. Like, try to do things in their memory, like,
Yeah, I've seen that. I've
Even you
also
lose,
seen, I also seen the mother that stays in the bottom of her glass in tears constantly.
even you lose a parent, it hurts. You know, I lost my dad. He lived with me um, for his last 5, 6 years of his life, but and we got close. You know, he's living with me and everything, and I knew he was gonna die and everything, but it still bothers you. You know, you kind of like say, you know, this is all bullshit what we're going through down here on Earth, and it gets to you sometimes. You wonder, what's the plan? You know, you always have to wonder. You know, like what is the real plan?
You
Um,
ever been to that placement where you lost somebody that was your strength, pops, and you're just sitting there like, why was I left here? What am I gonna do without that person in my life?
it's true. Yep.
Tell
It's
you what, man, since my grandmother passed, I've never felt love from anyone, no matter how much they try to shine it, as I did from that woman.
well, that's because she gave you unconditional love.
Yeah.
That's very hard to find. You can find it, but it's hard. You know.
I was just out. I was almost crying because, you know, I lost my parents 2 years ago. Both of them died of cancer within 6 weeks of each other. My dad, he almost committed suicide, as you can say. They've been together since they were 15. They were married on a king's letter because they were too young. So
My
the king had to say that it was okay. And the king said it was okay.
Hmm.
So we have this letter from the king where the king says that he gave his
blessings.
his blessings to them to be married. So they had a very, very long marriage, and I'm proud to say that I'm a son of real love, and because I'm the second child, the first one, my dad was not in love. He was not because he was a touring musician.
Right.
But no, he was actually older than my mom. Sorry, my mom was 15. He was 18. He was a touring musician. And 15 in Denmark is actually legal sex, but it's not legal to get married. How weird is that?
Yep. That's weird.
That's weird, but it's another thing. But again, so the age for women to have sex. But the thing is, they got my brother, and when she died, my dad, he said, he called us together, and he said, "There's some money for you in this. There's 10 There was one of these. This is, I don't know if you know him. This is Tony Soul. Tony Soul. Tony
Okay.
Soul. It
Look.
was that was mine. I thought I was like Captain Allen, the one who drinks all the time. That
Right.
was my brother. We all went wrong. Only my brother, my little brother, was right. But the funny thing is, there was a lot of money in them, and I said, "What are we going to do with this money? That's my money to you when I'm gone, and then you're going to get some more." I said, "That's a lot of money, Dad." And he said, "Yeah, but it is what it is. I'm going to die." I said, "From what?" He said, "I'm going to lay down. I miss your mother so much. I'm crying every fucking day, 24/7." And I'm saying, "But Dad, you can call me. I'll come." "No, I don't want you around. I want your mom around." And he said, "There's only one thing to do, and that is I'm going to lay down," because he had cancer in terminal phase. So he was going to die within 2 years anyway. So he lied down and he didn't drink, he didn't eat for like 2 weeks, and he died. That was kind of beautiful in a way, but it
Hmm.
was sad. It was sad.
Yeah. It's never the same once you lose your parents. I don't.
No,
My mother's still alive, but she's a pain in my butt. But she's still your mother, right? So my dad was more of my buddy, you know,
okay.
when he went, you know, I'm not the same person, you know. I moved on because you
Yeah,
know we
I know.
expect our parents to die. I mean, that's just nature, but you don't realize how much you miss them till they're gone. I used to tell my son
Man.
that all the time. You'll miss me when I'm dead. Right now, I'm alive, and you kind of don't even want to talk to me a lot of time. But when I'm dead, you wish I was here to have that conversation. And like with my dad, what would I, just to spend one more day with him? What would I do? Like definitely.
So my dream has always been to lie down and hug my daddy and just said I loved him. But he was not that simple of a man.
My dad, though, I'll never forget the one thing I was, I felt good about is, he had Alzheimer's and everything, but there were moments, especially in the morning, he would wake up and he would be normal for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the blood, I guess, by sleeping, it was flowing through his brain, correct? And then after about 5 minutes, he started to get like the Alzheimer's would kick in. But I always remember him telling me one thing, looking at me with a serious face and telling me, "Thank you. You were a good son."
Yeah.
And that's, when your dad could look at you and tell you you were a good son, I guess you got to, that's it. You did your job.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of kids out there, they can't look at their parents and tell them,
True shit.
I don't know. I mean, like, it's not easy to tell your kid he's a good son when
No.
he's fucking rebellious against you your whole life, right?
Yeah. But you know what? My mom.
I wasn't a rebel, so.
But I was. And my mom, she was literally dying and her brain was gone. She literally thought there was a chocolate factory in the bathroom and shit.
Good morning, rebel.
But the funny thing is, she literally told me, she said, Max, come here, darling. And okay, she gave me a kiss and she cried and she said, bye, I love you. Okay, I love you. And she said, you gave me the best 5 years of my life because I was like, I was the children, married with children, and I was like not on drugs. I was clean. I was like I'm now, and she was very proud of me. What I didn't know is that she hated my fucking wife. When I got divorced, my brother said, Matt, come here. You do know mother hated her. You know. I said, what? And he showed me fucking letters where she right. He can't take her in the long run. I know my son, and she fucking knew that. She knew that I would go away from that girl. She knew that.
I should have listened to my mother, actually. My mother, my first wife, she couldn't stand her. She used to tell me a lot of stuff. And, love is blind, I guess. Well, not even
love is
and,
blind.
I don't know how much in love I was with her anyway. But anyway, my mother just knew she was no good for me, and I didn't listen to her. But I should have. I
should have listened to my mom a couple of times.
The children today are brought up actually to rebel against their parents. See, like, I never rebelled against my dad. If my dad hit me or if my dad punished me, I may end up being happy with it at the moment, but I never held it against him. And I never threw him in his face, like, when I got older, like, oh, it's your fault. This didn't happen to me. It's your fault. I was a man. I took the brunt. I said, hey, if I didn't succeed in something, it was my fault, not my father, unless he was an abusive father, which he wasn't. But today, the kids want their parents to hand them the world. And they grow up not all children, but most. They grow up rebellious. The school brainwashes them. And I don't know how many parents could look at their children when they're dying and tell their child, you were a good son or you were a good daughter. It's not going to be as easy for the parents of today. Because I'll be honest, I don't know if I could. I'm being straight to the point. I mean, I know my dad looked at me and he meant it, I don't.
My dad, what I wanted to say about my dad when he passed away, and I said to my brothers, please go out of the room. And they said, why? Because I'm going to lay down with dad for half an hour and just hug him. And they said, what? I said, yeah, get the fuck out of here or just shut the fuck up. And they were like, Max, come on, get out of here. I said, no, I want to lay down with dad. Get the fuck out of here if you don't want to see it.
Right.
I laid down, I hugged him, and I was laying down and I was saying, I love you, Dad. I love you. Goodbye, man. You've been my hero since I was born. You know.
Well,
So-
if you can't honor your own father, how are you going to honor the Almighty God?
I know what you mean, man. I
You
honor
know,
my
if you can't do that, or you can't love your own father, how can you love him? I mean, it's kind of he's testing you, you know. I
Yeah.
believe, and or if you can't forgive someone, how can he think? Like I fucked up a lot as a kid. I did a lot of crazy stuff. I'm no better than the next. Me and you, Mads. The only difference is, you were famous. I just had money and made it happen. You know, I just did it with money. I wasn't famous, but I made the money do the talk, and so I lived that kind of. I lived in that fast lane, you know, for a while,
Yeah,
and you know, I did a lot of evil shit, you know, and if I can't forgive my son, how can the Almighty God forgive me? That's the way you got to look at it. And I try to live by that, but it's not easy.
No. And you know, I'm like I'm kind of my dad, he never taught me to be other than a musician. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you did become
I
the
was
music.
in this corporate meeting, with all these corporate guys. I was sitting there, I was feeling kind of awkward, but then they said, Mads, relax, take a Coke. And there was this smart Coca-Cola fucking old school machine. It was free anyway, so it was a bullshit machine. It was just standing there because it was old and maybe it cost a lot. Actually, you know what it was? Because there was these mopeds, like old school mopeds they were driving on in the 40s and 50s, like 80 cc's, like the women and shit were driving on it. They're not that big. And the young guys, they were standing, these from the 50s and 40s were standing in a advertisement firm. We walked through, there was this big building with 40, it was uh, like 40 new businesses that's open, corporations, big, and they have this big, big place where they can rent an office, you know what I mean?
Right.
With conference rooms and, places where you can have meetings and good places, it's beautiful up there. It is. And it's an old factory for these mopeds. I did not know that because I was saying it's very smart with these. They will cost a lot of money because they cost a lot of money to find. You see, if they found that in Savage Hunters or something, that would be a lot of money,
Right.
And I said they're worth like 20,000 a piece, and I said they know, and I said I want one. If it's the old factory, there must be more. And they said, oh, it was the only 3 that was left, only 3 left. So there must be a lot of people who stole one of these old motherfuckers,
Hey, I'm thinking, Mad, you're part Italian because you're going, you know what I mean? That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you got a little Italian in you. You know what I mean? Now your dad was a musician. How many years?
Oh, he was a musician for. I actually got a picture. No, I don't. But I have a picture where we stand on stage together. He was a musician for
A long time, anyway.
a long time, like from 64 to like 2019.
Wow.
2016. He stopped 3 years before he died.
Oh,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll definitely get into your dad too on the show when we do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of books where he's in, and shit like that.
Just after this show, get all your stuff that you have. You could grab and get some questions in your mind. I'll put some questions down. We'll go over it.
Yeah.
And then we'll make the show. We could do whatever. We could do it. What's today? Today is Tuesday. We could do it like maybe Thursday or Friday. Whatever is a good day for you. You pick a day that you're not busy.
I just have to do something after this, I have to do some shit.
Yeah, we do it like sometime during the week, the end of the
Yeah,
week sometime.
that would be nice, man. That would be nice. I'll write you something back and I'll send you. I'll see what I can get, and I'll see what
Yeah,
I can.
if there's any links of videos of you beside the one I have,
I think
you
I do.
singing,
I do. I think I do.
send me a couple of them so I could play a few more of your songs. I know you weren't. I know you made a lot of other songs.
I made a lot of songs. I made a lot.
Actually, at the end of the video that I have, the one King Kane,
Yeah.
you start another song, but it ends.
Yeah.
But like, I want to hear that song. Sounded good too.
Yeah. Oh, I got that on the CD actually here.
I like your whole band too. You got a big band there. I mean, you guys were no joke.
No, we were not, and we were actually getting. You know, we were getting. We're gonna talk about that because we were
Yeah,
getting
we'll
a lot.
talk about it. And a lot of the people from that band got famous. You said too,
Yeah.
the drummer and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but
the
yeah,
drummer-
cool.
Fucking Casillionaire down in Spain.
Yeah. Well, what did he hook up with a big band or something?
No, he totally said, "I'm gonna stop playing," and I said, because he was this big producer in Spain.
Oh, okay. He got big producer. I had a friend that was a drummer. He was really good, but what he ended up doing is he never really got into a band. He was like a studio drummer. Like
Yeah.
if you needed a drummer, or like he'd be like, like say one of these talk shows where they have like a band there, like the drummer. He was more of a studio drummer. They would call him in
Yeah.
to play for certain musicians.
Yeah.
He was
And
real good too.
Jake, my old school friend Jacob, was also like that. When he played with Kincaid, he was playing a lot of jazz and shit like that.
Yeah.
But Kincaid, I said to him, when you're gonna play with me and you're gonna play funk music, it's one thing you gotta learn. That's soul. Because I'm a soul musician. I listen to Marvin Gaye, I listen to James Brown, I listen to Otis Redding, I listen to all these guys all day, all night. Ella Fitzgerald, all these women,
Unfortunately, that music has died out. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
it's making a comeback a little bit, but it died out kind of.
I'm trying to play, on my,
I'm not a big hip hop guy. I'm not. I mean, I like the old school hip hop a little bit.
Yeah, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and shit like that.
I like the old school rappers. Their songs had a little more meaning. They weren't as violent, and they didn't hate everybody. A lot of these rappers today, they just talk their ghetto shit and how they hate everybody and all this shit. And
yeah,
I don't like that stuff. I
No,
mean,
maybe
make music.
They want to bang and they want to.
Yeah, they're making political statements through their music. Just make music that people want to hear. Make beautiful music. Make music. Tell a story. No problem. But like some of the stuff now, it's too overboard. It's overboard. They're yelling and screaming constantly, and they all sound the same now. Like all these rappers to me, they kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
A few are a little different, but in general, you can't even distinguish them anymore.
No,
Back in the day, there were more groups that were rap groups, like Ron MDMC. These guys were groups of rappers together, like that. They don't do that much no more. It's like individuals.
Brooklyn, with Beastie Boys and Paul's Boutique, they were making some fucking funky tunes. These guys, and it's funny to hear Run DMC talk about them. These three white guys, they were damn funky,
Yep. You had soul.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta make some phone calls.
Go ahead, go make some money, Exile. I appreciate you stopping in. Say hello to the missus.
Yeah.
Sure will.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello, Exile. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah. So how did you by the way, how did you ever meet Doc? That's like a weird
We go way back.
him. Like, well, where did you meet him? On YouTube?
Yeah, actually I did. Because I was like watching one day, I was like into not into, but I watched JB Gunner back then. I thought JB Gunner was like I thought he was a news guy. So I watched his news, and that was what I watched, because also Morning Coffee it was called. And then he recited the news he was talking about it, and I thought it was kind of funny. I never thought you saw YouTube before, so I did not know who was it and who was that and who did that consent and what consent even was, you know, what kind of consent there. Of course, I know what consent is, but what I mean is, I did not know who was making what consent and what consent they meant they were doing, you know.
Right.
So I had to find. So J.B. Gunner, he was this. He looked like a homeless, kind of half alcoholic, and I was kind of laughing at him, you know, thinking he was not at him, but you know, some of his jokes. But then he became a little racist, you know.
Right.
He's a little further to the right and a little too using the N word. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think it's a pretty word even from a black guy. You know, I think it's a stupid word.
I think so too. I believe that it's just it's an ignorant word that if we just stop saying it, it'll go away. It'll go away.
Yeah.
You know, the less people hear it, the less they talk about it. You know, I was trying to explain it one day. Whether or not, you know, black people feel that they have the privilege to say that word, and they do. It's their word, right? It's like I could call a guinea, but when you got rappers saying that word all the time, and white kids are buying their records, the white kids think it's cool for them to say that word because they idolize their idols, right? And that is the biggest problem, is that the kids that are buying these records think it's okay, but it's really not okay. You're not black and you say that word, it's offensive.
You know, in Denmark, you know, we're not that privileged that we can say, if we are like in school and the N word is standing there. You can't say, I won't, you can say, I don't want to say this word.
Right.
Then
Now,
they will cut you in the grade, your grades. They will say
American culture's invented bullshit and says, you could say it with a soft A and all this, but here's what I tell people. If you're not black, just don't say it. Because in my day, if you said that to somebody, they'd punch you in the face. And if you called me a guinea, I'll punch you in the face if you're not Italian. You know, an Italian can call me a guinea, but somebody else that ain't Italian, they're not going to get away with it. So that's basically how it is. So why are we even entertaining it?
I never heard that slang before.
Yeah, but I don't know why we entertain it. See, like, I've had people come on my show and they start getting into that shit. I go, listen to me. I'm not even going to entertain it. They go, what do you mean? Because I don't talk about it because it's really not part of me. I don't give a fuck. No. And I was brought up a different way to respect people. Unfortunately, the young generation doesn't even respect their parents. So how can we expect them to respect anyone?
That's what I mean. I don't understand that they're saying the words over and over again.
Yeah, because they think it's cool.
But it's not cool.
No, it's stupid. If I'm a rapper, I don't want to say that word because I want that word to vanish.
Yeah.
I want that word to disappear. I don't want to keep it here. Now, some people's logic is, well, it's kind of shown people, you know, it don't bother us anymore, so we'll say it. But it's an ignorant word. It's a racial slur, whether it be you know, you call somebody a guinea. I use guinea because I'm Italian. So that's a racial slur that we shouldn't say either. I mean, you know.
Have you ever heard Eminem said? No, I haven't.
But I'm not going to go in the music industry and start saying, I'm a guinea, and the I'm a guinea, guinea. I'm not going to do that. Like, why would you do that shit? I don't get it sometimes. I get lost in the bullshit, you know? And
actually, this guy, he said today, and I was listening to it, I was thinking, what? He said.
So how you doing, Vigo, by the way? I want to just say hello to some of the people tuning in.
Oh, he just said, he said he's a racist. He's got white supremacy in him because he's white. And if he's white, then he must have white supremacy. Yeah, it goes together. And I was thinking, what? That means because I'm white, I have white supremacy in me. No, I don't. Literally don't. I don't care
So
about it.
Struggles is saying nothing wrong with Eamon. Yeah, well, he just said he really never said any type of things like that. Actually, so you're correct. The only thing wrong with Eamon, by the way, Snuggles, is he worships Satan. Just so you know. So, he don't say racial slurs, but he worships Satan.
Who?
And Eminem, Ian, I call him Eminem, but Eminem, whatever. He's a devil worshiper. He's shown his true colors plenty of times, making the
Devil-
signs.
How? I don't know.
Well, he'll do his videos. In his videos, he's making a lot of signs of the devil in it.
Okay.
He's singing lyrics, devil kind of spiritual shit. So you don't do that stuff. Look, why would anybody famous want to make signs of the devil if they're not a devil worshiper? If you actually are a religious man, even this much, and you believe in the Almighty God, you're not going to insult him and make devil signs to get famous and really not be a devil worshiper. You understand my logic? Like, if you're doing it, you are. You're giving him honor. You're giving when you make a devil sign, you're giving the devil honor.
Or you do what you are.
Right. So the people stick up for a lot of these people and go, well, you know, they're just doing it because it's the in thing, it's the culture. No. Worshiping the devil is not culture.
No, that was good, Bob.
You know, so we can all sit here and make excuses for them, like Donald Trump. I watched him. Look, I voted for him. Let me explain this. Pick your poison. Do you want the guy we got now, or do you want Trump? Right? Well, we're all going to say Trump, most of us. But he used to go on stage when you watch Trump, and he would do this. That's the sign, 3 6s, okay? That's a Masonic. They do this shit to each other on TV on purpose to show off. He stopped doing it, Trump, because people started to catch on to it and go, what the fuck's he doing devil signs for? You know, you don't do devil signs and expect people not to catch on. So he stopped doing it. And even when he sits, he does this. He does a lot of shit. So these evil people, Masons, and all these people are doing all this shit out in the open. And we're supposed to think it's cool?
No, it's not.
This
Cool.
is the society we live in today. They make excuses for devil worshippers. Yeah, listen, I don't even think it gets any worse than you're a devil worshiper. It's maybe in the same league as a pedophile, but you worship the devil. To me, you don't even belong on this planet. Go find another planet somewhere.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, you know. I know the music industry, though, is tied into a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, Vigo, in Eminem's earlier videos, you won't see as much of it. But if you've seen him even in the Super Bowl, what he was doing, he's got. And then I could show you photos of him making devil horns and doing all kinds of stuff. He doesn't do it as much as some other people, but he's done it. And you know, once you got 10 photos of somebody doing it 10 times, it's you know, it's a no-brainer. You know.
Yeah, actually, there was one that was very big on these signs on our team once, but he turned out to be a totally compulsive liar. So I'm not going to mention him.
So Snuggles, you're saying it can mean other things. I don't know what making the horns and devil signs. What else they can mean? Maybe you can help me out so I could maybe start to like some of these devil worshippers that aren't you're claiming aren't. Or maybe he didn't want to be looked at like a devil worshiper because he's Christian. Well, a lot of devil worshippers will make believe they're Christians. It's all a deception. They do it on purpose to deceive you. The devil is the greatest deceiver there is, and he teaches that. So a lot of people are being deceived. I've seen singers that will go on stage and do a total evil Masonic devil thing, and then the next day have a cross on their neck on television. So what the hell is that all about?
Yeah, I just had an accident. 2 seconds.
Take your time. Don't worry about it. So I can't understand. I'm talking, man, don't worry. Do what you got to do. I'm just talking to the people. I don't understand how you, like, what's her name? Katy Perry? She did some evil shit on a Super Bowl show. She's done some evil shit in the past. And then the next day you'll see her with a cross and she's talking about the Almighty. Like, are you really fucking real? Like, even if you are a Christian and you're doing devil shit for fame, you're done. Like, the Almighty God ain't accepting that. Like, oh, so you want to make believe you worship Satan to be famous, but you really want to worship me? It ain't working. He ain't buying that. No way. That's like a hypocrite, you know? So, you know, what else? Should I go make a deal with the devil and then turn around and go, oh, forgive me, Almighty, you know? No. You made the deal. You sold your soul. Whose dad is a pastor, by the way? Katy Perry, you mean? You know? Even Madonna, you'll see her do a lot of evil shit, and then all of a sudden she'll turn around and talk about the Almighty God. Come on now. So people that play, they're playing demons. That's kind of a movie, right? But they're not worshiping them. They're not making devil signs. And kind of, if I was a famous actor, I wouldn't play a demon. I'm not going to play that type of role. I just would refuse it. But maybe in the beginning to become famous, they do it, and it's just acting. I don't consider them devil worshippers, but when you're making symbolic gestures, and you know, you're basically summoning demons when you do that stuff. So I believe those are devil worshippers. Now there are a few that do, but you have to understand that they're making the signs. So it has to mean something. Donald Trump wasn't doing this all the time because it was like, what was it, a habit to talk like, who does that? Like, and if you did do it, let's just, for argument's sake, let's say Donald Trump was making the 3-6 sign, this sign, right? I don't even want to show it because I'll get a meme. So he's making the 3-6 sign and he didn't know. It was an innocent mistake, right? And somebody said, hey, Mr. Trump, you can't do that. Why? Because it's the sign of the devil. It's the 3 6s. He immediately should have stopped doing it. He's been doing that for years. So I'm sure it was brought to his attention, but he still kept doing it, which means that's a sign. You know, it's a sign. You got to understand, this guy played with all the rich people. He's a billionaire, you know. He's a deceiver too. Most of our politicians are great deceivers. They're actors. They're lawyers. They look at you with a straight face and lie like you believe them. That's how good they are. They're that good. Yeah, Katy Perry. Yep, devil worshiper. Molly Cyrus, devil worshiper. Here, you want to see some Katy Perry stuff? Let's pull it up. Okay, Katy Perry. Making, yeah, we'll do it. Devil signs. Yeah, I'm not making this stuff up, by the way. So let's look for some images. I can show you videos, but so yeah, let me save an image. I'll just show you like something. It's not cute to worship the devil.
No.
It's not.
What the fuck says that?
I think I'm echoing on your.
No.
I was echoing from your speakers. Now it stopped.
Okay.
She wears the one eye. I mean, like, I'm just gonna show you. Like, I don't got time to really get into Katy Perry because I could care less about her. But I'll just show you like 2 quick things that, I just pulled them up and that's what popped up. So I'm going to show you. Hold on. I got to actually go through a whole process of, let me see if I can pull it up here. Hold on. And let's see. Share screen. Let's remove this. Add to stream. No. Remove. Stop screen. Let me see if I can share now. Share screen. And and let's do this one. Here we go. So here you got Katy Perry with the Illuminati eye, the all-seeing eye. Okay, demonic. Let's see another Katy. Yeah, let's see Katy Perry basically giving the devil honor at a party, and we'll show you. This is just a little bit. Look, I could sit here and probably show you 100 examples of Katy Perry. She's easy. Eminem's a little harder to find. Eminem, you'll find a few. Some of them hide it well, and some don't. Like Putin. I was looking for Putin making devil signs or horns, like hundreds of searches, and I only found one picture of him doing it. Because some of them, this is the horns. She's even got devil horns on her head. Do you really think she's doing this to be cool? Come on now. Let's be real. Let's not make excuses for people. Katy Perry is a devil worshiper. And if she's not, then she's doing something that's even worse than it may be worse than being a devil worshiper. Honoring the Almighty God and then worshiping the devil or just making believe to be cool is maybe worse, because now you're doing it just for fame and money, and you really don't worship him. You worship the Almighty, but yet you're smacking him in the face. So you could say it's a rock and roll thing. I don't know if I ever seen Elvis making the signs of the devil. Maybe he did too, but I'm sure there was a time where musicians just didn't do this stuff. Marvel. You have to look deep. I know this sounds crazy. The creators of Marvel did that on purpose with the Spider-Man. Why would you have to close two of your fingers to shoot a web? Why can't you just open your hand and shoot the web? Marvel makes a lot of there's a lot of signs in their movies. You have to read them between the lines. Spider-Man itself is not a devil worshiper, but what they've done is they make him do the horns on purpose in the show. They do so. Look at Disney movies. You can find pedophilia symbols in their movies. Do you think that was a coincidence? No. This is all done in plain sight. They've been doing this to us for 50, 100 years. I didn't realize all this stuff when I was a young man. Like Bugs Bunny has stuff in it. I mean, there's so much old stuff that they did. They didn't do it as often, and it wasn't like bragging about it. Now they're kind of bragging about it because nobody cares. People still think that everything is okay. But if you look at a lot of Marvel movies, there's a lot of satanic stuff behind the curtain. You have to look a little deeper. Snuggles, look at some of the Disney movies and you'll find pedophilia symbols in their movies. Lion King. They've actually taken some movies and they took the symbols out now. So you would have to have the older version to see it because they re-edited the movies on purpose because people started to see now what's going on. It would be like look at Netflix. They made that show, Cuties. Now, I don't know if you ever seen that show. I watched it, the first episode, just to see what the hell is this thing, what's going on here. It was insanity. And we got, I don't know if any of you seen Partly Cloudy 420. He has a show anytime, Partly Cloudy. If you ever seen, where was I? I lost my track of thought now. I don't even know what I was talking about. We were talking about Marvel movies. Lion King and stuff. So they had pedophilia symbols in their stuff. And now I think Disney's starting to overhaul some of their videos and taking these devil symbols out and things because people starting to notice it now. So then now they're trying to change their image because they got busted. But they're still there. Get some of the older versions and you'll see stuff in Disney movies that you'll be like, really? Yeah, like Donald Duck with a heart on. I mean, like some crazy shit. So we have to be aware of these symbols. Look, words are very powerful. Words can cause life or death, okay? Like a king can put you to death, right, with his words. But symbols rule the world. And we must understand that. Like the cross. Come on, how many people, that one symbol represents what? Amazing, right? The cross, the Knights Templars will use. I mean, symbols rule the world. And they know that. See, that's the difference between us, the regular people, and satanic worshipers. They know symbols are important, okay? And even some of your high up good guys, like, your high up religious leaders, know symbols are important. Symbols rule the world. And we have to really start looking into it. Oh, all right. Yeah, well, definitely, Mads, I will call you. You lost power on your phone or whatever. Yeah, we'll touch base in the email, and we're going to make a show. That's Mads Rasmussen. I showed a video. At one time, he was a pretty famous guy in his country, especially. He was a rock star almost. So he has a good story to tell, the rise and fall. All right. Little Light Studio Channel breaks down the Hollywood gymnastic propaganda and satanic undertones. Snuggles, maybe you should look at the Little Light Studio channel and you'll kind of see things. I'm glad that you're asking these questions, and I'm trying to bring you to light. That's all I can do. I tell people I can lead the horse to water, but you have to drink it. You have to drink the Kool-Aid. I know this stuff is tough. We don't want. Look, do I want to believe Disney is an evil organization? All the movies I used to make my kids watch at Disney, and I watch Disney, and the thought of Disney being that, I mean, Disney's should be really this great little thing for kids and everything, it should be a great thing. And it, in general, it is 95% of it, but there's that 5% that we don't realize, and now we're starting to realize what the real plan is. What they're doing, their propaganda, their secret agendas. They love to show off. And more than anything, these demonic people love to show off to each other. It's like they have a contest. Who can make more devil signs in their concert than the other guy? Like who could do more demonic shit and get away with it? And we buy their records. We watch their movies. I'm not innocent to it myself. Like, I'm not perfect. I've watched movies where I know that actor is no good, and yet I'll watch it because it's a good movie, and I don't like to be a hypocrite, so I admit it. But what I do is I try my best not to support these people. Like Netflix, cancel. I still watch Netflix because my sister pays for it, so I'll watch it. But I won't join Netflix because what I can do is I can go online and find it for free. I can find all the Netflix movies. They're online. The only thing is Netflix, it streams a little better. But I don't care. I just won't support Netflix because I know what they're about. Oh, so what happened with the whole dog situation in court? Well, my sister has to go to court still. But she did go. She took the dog to get his shots, whatever shots he didn't have, and then she signed the dog up. I don't know why. I guess veterinarians are car salesmen too. So they signed her up for these 4 classes. They charge you $200. It's $50 a class. It's 1 hour. And this guy teaches the dogs like discipline or whatever, like sit here, commands and shit. I was like, oh, well, they seen you coming. I told my sister, another car salesman sold her another bullshit. And this dog's fine. This dog's perfect. He's the cutest, happy dog. So I don't know why she even was worried, but she's like, oh, this way I could show the judge. I'm like, what do you think? You're on trial? It's a dog, you know? But yeah, 33-degree Mason, Mankey P. Hall said, once you can read the language of symbolism, a great veil will be lifted from your eyes. Yeah, like to give you an example, Rebel, if I went into Manhattan now I've been in Manhattan, you know, many times. I worked there. If I went into New York City, Manhattan now, I would probably start seeing all these symbols on, because there's a lot of old buildings still in New York, okay? I would start seeing catching like Masonic signs. I would start seeing this stuff on buildings that I never was aware of because this stuff came into my, you know, I came into the light. I found it. So I can imagine. I almost was thinking about making a video and going to Manhattan and just search for all these evil, demonic stuff that's going on, you know? People just think we're crazy, but they don't realize, like, even the Google logo is 3 6s wrapped up in a ball. Taco Bell has it, and there's some. I mean, and they're starting to get away from it. I think Taco Bell's changing their symbols now because people are starting to say, hey, we know who you are. We're not buying your shit. So Mickey, if Mickey wants an island, Mickey gets an island. Ha, Mickey. I guess you mean Mickey because you wrote Mackie in the top one. Oh, wow. It is. Is that Sammy? Yeah. Who wants? You want to see my dog? Hold on. I'll go get him. And where are you? There we go. All right. So this is my dog. My sister's dog is bigger. But this is my dog, Sammy. Say hello, Sam. Yeah, he's a chubby guy. He's got a big belly. You see him? But he's a good dog. Yeah, he's a good doggy. He's a little cutie. Yep. I call him, he's like a sausage. I don't even feed him a lot. It's his built. I went to the doctor and the vet one time. I said, why is he fat? I feed him good food. I don't give him like the bullshit dry dog food. I give him meat. I think table food and stuff like that, meat and stuff is very good, But he said it's just his built. He's like, I think he's like a pug chihuahua. I don't know what he is. He's a mix, but he's a good doggy. He'll just lay in my arms for hours if I want. Go, Sam. Now, the other guy, he's a puppy. He's exciting. Come here, Bruno. Come here. Hold on. Let me get him now. Rocco. Come here. Come here, Rocco. Come. Come here, Rocco. Come here. Rocco, come here. Come. Here's Rocco. This is Rocco. Hold on. There he is, Rocco. Say hello. He's the baby. He's the little Rocco. Who's the baby? Huh? Say hello to everybody, Rocco. Yeah. All right, get out now. Go. Go. So that's Rocco, the other dog. This Rocco is he's a puppy. Yeah. Go play. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, they're good. I love dogs. I actually, it gets to the point you almost like animals better than people because at least if they're evil, they don't even know why they're evil. But dogs, they're innocent, they're like kids almost. I love dogs. So anyway, let's see what's going on with the rest of the world. I'll pull up pull up some news for everybody in case you guys are wondering what's going on out there. Well, I mean, basically everything's Ukraine anyway. I mean, you know, you can't even find any type of news other than they want us so basically enwound in this war so they could do a lot of other stuff. Yeah, Vigo, Sammy was with me when I lived with Mike. And they want us enwound in this war because they're going to be doing a lot of other shit that we're not going to be paying attention to, especially if the war gets a little uglier. They're going to start slipping in shit. You know, they'll start slipping in laws and bills. And let me see. I'll put this. Let's do a news. We'll start looking at some news. Share screen. And. Yeah, and oh no, that's no good. I don't want all these screens up. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. I just want to share the one screen. All right, share. And here we go. Share screen. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Now I got it. Okay. So let's see some of the news. Everything Ukraine. European leaders. This is Al Jazeera. It's kind of like a foreign news. It's good to get a little bit of everything. Ukraine war jolts India's import-dependent edible oil market. So, like, you know, talking about sunflower oil and things like that. So India was sending a lot of, I guess, oil to Russia. You know, sunflower oil especially, which is a lot cheaper. I mean, you have to use once in a while vegetable, but I try to just use olive oil and everything. They even have light olive oil that you could fry with, because olive oil is a little heavier. How is war destroying Ukraine's cultural heritage? So probably paintings are disappearing. I wonder who's taking those. I'm sure they're looting that country like crazy right now. Because Ukraine, people don't realize one thing about Ukraine. Ukraine is, Russia kind of Putin put a stop to a lot of things in the 90s. And, he stopped kind of the mob controlling the whole entire country. He just controls it now. So you had to deal with one gangster, not like hundreds. But Ukraine is basically like the wild, wild west. I mean, there's hundreds of gangsters in there. There's all kinds of crime, money laundering, human trafficking. I mean, there's so much evil in that country, hidden. And the people are good. I mean, the majority of the people that live there, they're just regular people. But it's a lot of evil and crazy stuff. And a lot of the people talk about it, how they're under tyranny there before this whole thing. Some of the Ukrainians were happy that Putin came in there. Don't believe all the hype of all the war they're showing you and all these buildings. They keep showing you like the same couple of buildings. Now, is there shit going down there? Absolutely. Are their buildings getting blown up? Absolutely. But they're exaggerating everything. And then there's even people getting on there saying that it was the own Ukrainians that were actually shooting the homes up in the villages, blowing up houses, I guess for propaganda. I don't know. I don't know who to believe, but I'm telling you that there's no way what the news is showing us, because they only show you like the real evil shit. Like they showed yesterday a pregnant woman on a stretcher, and they're taking like she got hit with like a bullet, a shell, or something happened. But they showed this woman in so many different pictures on so many different news things. Was she even an actor? And, they grabbed a pregnant woman and threw her in a stretcher. And even the guys that were bringing her, it just looked fake. I don't know if it was, but it did look fake. So you don't know. I mean, they're starting to get caught with a lot of their shit, with their propaganda. We're catching on to it. People are checking the pictures, checking the videos, if they've been photoshopped. I mean, they're starting to get checked out now, so they're not getting away with it. The only reason why they're even getting away with it because they're basically the media in America is controlled by the people that have an agenda. So what they're doing. He ran out of the house, Sammy? Oh. He ran out of the backyard. Did you close the gates? Oh, my dog just ran out. But hey, what's up, DJ? So just kind of like when you look at a lot of the stuff, don't believe everything you see. Some of it is true. Some of it is like a set. They made it, you know, maybe they found this spot here. I'm not saying this is what happened, but they could have found this spot and flipped the car and with the snow and you know, these houses are old looking, so this looks like desolate and all this. And maybe they got a bunch of these people doing it, or maybe they're just people, they're fleeing, you know, they're getting out of there, but they make everything look so more worse than what it is, you know. I definitely think people are fleeing there. I wouldn't want to be in that country right now, because even if it ain't Russia, maybe Ukraine, they're blowing shit up too, you know. If they're fighting the Russians, let's just say, they're going to shoot buildings down because they're fighting the Russians, right? They're shooting their tanks are shooting at the Russian tanks. Shit's got to happen, right? Who wants to be in the middle of a war, in the crossfire? Now, apparently they're using old pictures from other war zones like Syria as propaganda. Rebel, absolutely. But I've been trying to tell people this. And they do have crisis actors galore involved as well. Yeah, because there's people. Look, if they told me right now, go outside and just walk up the block and we're going to give you $200, we're taking a little film shot, I'll do it. You could grab all those people in and say, hey, we'll give you $10 each. We need you to walk down the block and act like you're, you know, walking with these suitcases. I mean, you don't know what to believe. They're that good now. They know how to do the propaganda. They're pros at it. You know, and it's constant fear. I know Russia's definitely in there. I personally think Russia's in there kicking the shit out of them, taking whatever the part of the country they want. Putin's been complaining about it for years, about NATO, and a lot of bad things were happening, genocide in Ukraine. There was a lot of stuff going on that they're not telling us. So who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? They want us to believe Ukraine is the good guy. Okay, well, that's up to people to believe. You know, that's all up to you people. I don't believe either side. How's that sound? I know one thing. The president of Ukraine is a clown. That I could promise you. They show him. I had a video. If you look at my last night's video, he's dancing in drag on stage. So no, I wouldn't lie to the whole world to make money. But let's just say somebody came here right now and said, walk, and I didn't know why they wanted me to do it. And they said, yeah, we want you to walk up the block with this suitcase. We're making a film for a movie. I would do. Now, of course, if I'm in Ukraine in a war, I probably wouldn't do it. But then you got to realize that most people will. Like, these people need to eat. They have no money. They're poor. So somebody comes there and says, hey, here's $100 each person. We want you to walk up the block with these suitcases and act like, this bomb just hit or something. Like, they're going to do it. They don't care. People need to eat. But, you know, hold on 1 second. We're going to take a break. One moment. Hold on. I'm going to put a video on for a moment. Because, here we go.
If you're not controversial in a world that's utterly insane, then it's time to find a mirror and ask why. If a world that's insane doesn't see you as insane, you should find a mirror and ask why. The idea is to show people that they don't need to follow anyone, they need to follow themselves and become their own center of constructing their perception. What you can do is help that process by the information you put out there. Renegade mind, what is that? Well, you can have a critically thinking mind, and you can put dots together and you can see something and you can see what's happening. But a critically thinking mind that can see it, or at least some of it, won't necessarily do anything about it. It might still conform in fear of not conforming. A renegade mind will never do that. A renegade mind is a critically thinking mind, a constantly questioning mind, a not taking anything on face value mind without checking it out, especially if it comes from authority. It won't be intimidated into cooperating with tyranny, because the renegade mind has self-respect. Self-respect is the state of being that has ended every single tyranny in human history, because it's self-respect that says, no, I'm not cooperating. My self-respect won't allow it. It's all a psychological operation. And they want your self-respect. A renegade mind will never give it to them. But they want your self-respect because they know that once your self-respect has been handed over, there's nothing left. What's left with you then is submission. That's all that's left. And this is why, in the psychological game, they put monumental morons, people like Biden, people like Johnson, people like Daniel Andrews in Victoria, Australia, and other leaders in Australia. They want you to see it. And they want you to see all the contradictions in what these morons are telling you to do. They want you to see them, because if you can see that a moron is telling you to do something, and you can see that what they're telling you to do has no basis in common sense or science, but you still do it, they've got your self-respect. And all that's left is submission. And a renegade mind will never hand over its self-respect. Never. I'll die first. And I willingly die first. And they can't intimidate me because I'm unintimidatable, because I'm not frightened to death. That's a renegade mind. If you don't see what's going on and refuse to cooperate with it, by very little time from now, you, your kids and grandkids are going to be living in a global fascist dictatorship of total 24-hour surveillance control. If you don't want that to happen, get off your frickin' ass.
So there you go. You got to have a renegade mind. I love it. So we got Rebel here. Hey, Rebel, I agree with you 100%. Look, here's how you know there's something going wrong. When every single country is on one side of the fence, which never happens. I mean, it never happens. Look, even Germany had Italy, Japan were on it. So when every single country and every single corporation, mostly almost every corporation, has sanctioned Russia, this shit's never happened before. When did sanctions ever come from like sneaker companies and shit like that? Like, well, what is that all about? Like, it's a clown act. It's a cancel culture act. This is what they want people to believe, you know? You better play ball or you'll get canceled. So, every media, it's getting to the point, like even like Newsmax, they used to try to make believe they were good. They're all going with the whole agenda. NATO war games drill massing 50 warships on Russia border. So are they trying to bully Russia? I mean, like, because Russia could take on NATO with no problem. If America goes full force, that's a whole different story. But as far as NATO, without America, NATO couldn't do shit to Russia. All right, so I think it's all fear porn. That's what I think it is. Let's look at the New York Post. This paper sometimes puts out some right side information, which kind of I like. They're the ones that went after Hunter Biden. I don't know if you people remember that. So Ireland Baldwin covers up with a wean, a dog, and more star snaps. So this is Baldwin's daughter trying to be, I don't know, she's trying to get famous by being like naked and things, like doing, maybe she'll do a Kim Kardashian video and make like a couple of $100 million. And there's the Critics' Choice Awards. That's Serena Williams and the tennis players. Let's see what the Post has, though. Let's look at some of the stuff they got going on. Let's go all the way to the top. I don't know how it ended up on the bottom, but all right. So in New York, there was a guy, a deadly shooting spree of homeless people. Something like that, right? People arrested. D.C. oh no. Suspect in deadly shooting spree of New York City, D.C. homeless people are arrested. So, suspect in the serial killing and shooting of homeless people in the Big Apple in Washington, D.C. was arrested early Tuesday, in the Capitol Police announced. So here you got a coward here going around killing homeless people. I mean, really? That's how bad it's gotten? Oh, yeah, that's Selesky characters. I got a picture. You could watch my video from yesterday. He's dancing in drag. He was like naked in front of a piano, playing the piano with his private parts. They don't show you his private parts, but they show you him dancing, playing it. So he's a clown. This is who they hire for leaders now because they need actors. Okay? You can't get a regular guy in the office and tell him to start acting. Usually they can't act. That's why Biden, we realize he's a real clown because he can't act good. This guy from Ukraine, man, he could sit in there and make you think like, holy shit, what's going on? He's trying to play like this patriot president, and he's a clown. So Russia passes law to take control of foreign airplanes left in the country. I guess if you're leaving planes in the country, they're going to take them, right? 3-year-old boy accidentally shoots and kills mom in a store parking lot. So let's read that. I want to know how a 3-year-old could even, I don't know, how could a 3-year-old pull a gun or whatever? Let's see what happened. So it's saying a 3-year-old shot his mother after finding her gun in the back seat. Now, that's really a horrible tragedy. A 3-year-old to shoot a gun. I mean, a gun, depending on what gun it is. Some guns, I don't think a 3-year-old could pull the trigger. It's not easy to the trigger, but for a 3-year-old, I guess so. But wow, could you imagine that? That's a sad story. But that's what the news does anyway. They don't. I want to see it. Is there any good news? Bride-to-be's agony. So I don't know what's this. Fiance's billionaire son killed in propeller accident. Doesn't remember it. So the billionaire doesn't remember his son getting killed in a propeller accident. I don't know. Is that so important? Like, I can't understand these newspapers anymore. Let me see. Section. Let's go to the news first. Let's see what we got. All right. Russia, Ukraine. Soldiers destroyed 3 Russian tanks. This is bullshit, probably. I would say 99%. If I had to guess. Haley Baldwin married to Justin Bieber is just a smoke show. Yep. Yeah. Oh, so Rebel, you seen that too. I forgot to mention that. So this guy actually played the role to be a president in Ukraine on a TV show. It'd be like Martin Sheen in The West Wing, right? Now we make him the president. Shit. He could play that part better than the guy we got in there now, that's for sure. They have the guy they have in there now. They want us to have a real like clown because they want us to constantly just blame him. But I keep telling people, it's not Biden. He's a clown. He's a puppet. It's the Senate and the Congress. They're all corrupted, or 95% of them. They can have votes to start drilling oil in America. They can do a lot of things. And they can get it done. They can override the president. So why aren't they doing it? And then you see them there pitching their bullshit. Oh, the American people, we're for the people. This is ridiculous. Biden won't allow drilling and all that. It's not Biden. It's Pelosi, really, and the leader in the Senate, McConnell. Those are the two culprits, if you want to really get down to it. So now they're giving a countdown. Russia has 14 days to break the resistance before the tide turns. Oh, really? Come on now. Am I going to believe that Russia, if they I'm back. I just had to blow my nose. I didn't want to blow it like in front of everyone. So, are we supposed to believe that Russia can't last longer than 14 days in a war? All this fear porn they're selling us. Who are these guys? Oh, camera crew. They look. They got cameras, right? So those aren't. These are buildings. Who knows? Hey, listen. Definitely some buildings got blown up. Now, this building, I'm telling you, I've seen the same building in 20 different photos. So, and this scene, I mean, they just keep showing the same exact shit time and time again. Now, I'm sure a few buildings got hit by shells going in the misdirection. Could have even came from Ukrainian forces also. And who are these guys? Armed police officers. So these, I guess, are Ukrainian police. And they look like they're ready to fight, right? Fire departments, they just show us all the things that make us feel sorry. Here, like, look at this. This is Florida, right? That looks like it's been through a war. We should go to Florida and take a picture of that. Say, yeah, somebody came here and blew it up. I mean, look at that. So, all right, let's go to another section. Let's see. All right, sports. Here we go. The Yankees stand in pursuit of first base upgrade. All right, nothing crazy. Jacob said they had much weapon. Zach Wilson. If you ain't a Yankee fan, you're not a Yankee fan, but there's only two types of fans, Yankee fans and the rest of yous. All right, I'm really not into sports anymore anyway. They've gotten too political. Let's see. Let's go to my favorite newscaster, Alex Jones. I know people think he's conspiracy, but he's really not that much. A little bit. A lot of truth when he says stuff. Got to pay attention to the big picture. Yep, Tom Brady's back. His wife gave him permission to come back again. Originally, his wife gave him an ultimatum and he retired. And I guess she just wanted to see if she could control him like our government does with us. His wife basically told him, okay, honey, being that you listen to me, you could go back and play another year. Brady could probably play another 4 or 5 years the way he keeps himself. I mean, he's not even on the decline yet. This guy's still performing, you know. And the way football is now, it's almost like touch football. So he's not really getting hurt. He's getting hit only a few times a year. So, and he's real good. So he reads. I don't know if anybody follows sports. So Brady just reads the defense like quick. The guy's been around for that many years. He knows what he's doing, but he keeps himself in great shape where he can still play the game, which I find is an amazement in itself. So that's it for that. We did that now. Anybody, you can only talk about the news so much because it's all bullshit anyway. I think we need to find the Almighty God in our lives more and start worrying about that part. His wife, witchcraft magic, keeps him young. I believe it. I believe she's a witch for sure. That could be. Maybe they're drinking adrenochrome. Who knows, right? Because if you look at Brady, man, that guy looks like he don't age. Shit. I wish I'm at 45 though. I look good still. I'm 57 now, so I would say everything started to go wrong with my body and everything, my hair and my face, about when I was 50. It started around 50 years old. Your body takes a toll on itself, Let's see what Mr. Gates has anything important to say. Mrs. Marvel trailer reveals MCU's next superhero. Perfect landing. Nah, I don't care about sports too much. They try to keep us busy with a lot of sports and movies and stuff to keep us distracted. They want us distracted. They don't want us paying attention to what they're doing to us. They want us paying attention if your team is winning. Right? Cardiologist now, finding out what foods are bad for you. So you don't know what to eat. I'd say eat everything in moderation and you'll be fine. These are what? Rolling Stones can't. These guys, they look like prunes, and they're still performing. They're like, I don't know. Are they really performing or they're playing like their records in the background? So the State Department said it'll hand over emails mentioning Hunter Biden to the New York Times. Yeah, so you hand it to the New York Times. They're going to cover up whatever you want anyway. Activists say they broke into a friend's seaside villa owned by Putin's former son-in-law and changed the locks. So Ukraine refugees can live there. Huh. So they want to now go after the guy's ex-son-in-law that lives in France, change the lock so refugees could go there and live in that guy's house. Like, are they just sadistic? Do people see how sadistic they are now? They do like this sick, evil shit. So they're saying the Proud Boy had plans to storm. Being set up probably. Ukraine First Lady pleas to the world. What are you playing? You're an actor like your husband. So they're saying Nancy Pelosi doesn't drink, but one of the congressmen is accusing of her being an alcoholic. Listen, that lady's got to be on more than just alcohol. She's got to be doing some pills in that mix. Now, this I can't figure out. Dolly Parton, I seen this the other day, withdraws from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame consideration and insists she's not worthy. How the hell does she Dolly Parton's super famous in country music. I mean, a lot. Even if you don't follow country music, you know who Dolly Parton is, right? What made her do that? Like, what weird shit happened that made her withdraw? Or is she just senile now and she don't know? I don't know. Something's weird with that. Yeah, so this guy's going to opt out of how to bring this up. Out of something. He gets he's going to get like $45 million and he's going to opt out to get more money. Like, how much money can you have? So let's just, for instance, say you have 300 million and I have 100 million. What can you do that I can't in reality? I mean, besides okay, you could go buy a $200 million house. I mean, I can if I only get 100 million. But what can you do that I really can't? We go both buy mint houses. We can both go anywhere we want in the world. We both can fly on private jets. I mean, we both can have yachts. Yours may be a drop bigger than mine. So why is it these people are so greedy, even athletes? Like, I understand up to a point. Maybe he wants to get a really good deal with another, like, an extension. I don't know. I just think it's greed. So let's see Samala Hayek. She used to be one of my favorites when she was younger. She's getting older. She's married to a billionaire. I don't really think she cares. She actually doesn't. I don't know. She looks weird lately. She looks a little too, I don't know. Maybe she's just gaining weight. I know she's like around 50-ish, but she's still pretty and everything. She was my favorite when she was younger. And Aaron Rodgers signed a new contract. NFL World reacts. I don't know. What did he get? Like $45 million a year or some shit like that? It's never enough for these people anyway. This is all Microsoft propaganda. That's what we should start calling the news. Why don't we call, instead of calling it news, let's just call it the propaganda channels, That's what we should do. So, does anybody have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about? Because I'll just end the show, I'm going to go make some lunch. I may do a show tonight, but let's see anybody else got something they want to talk about. To talk about new movies out. I know Netflix has got some kind of new stuff going. I don't really watch Netflix, but you could stream Netflix for free. You don't got to pay for it. I use it because my sister pays for it, but I won't give them a nickel of my money. They got, I watched a movie called The Adam Project the other day. It wasn't bad. The new Witcher's out. I don't know if you guys are into that stuff. Witcher. Yeah, let's show you. I'll show you some Netflix stuff. I'm just so bored. We got to put something on. So here you go. You got number 1, Adam Project. I seen that. Pretty good. Lost Kingdom. I watched the first 4 seasons. I liked it. This one here, I'm not too crazy about it today. Let's see what else. This is a good show in case any of you want to see. Narcos. Pretty good show. That's a pretty good show, Narcos. Yeah, Netflix got a lot of old movies and stuff too, but I watch it once in a while because I'm not paying for it. So if it streams faster than the other, because you could go to like Movies 1, 2, 3, Let Me Watch This, and Prime Wire, and you can get all this stuff from Netflix for free. You don't got to give them a nickel. You could even get Amazon stuff too. So you could do a lot of different things. Just so you know. I don't know why. Let me remove that. So let's see anything else we could watch. I watch all different types of stuff. I'm still sharp and hip as you. When I'm 57, I'll be sent. I'll be set. Amen. I will. If I am still sharp and hip as you, God, from your mouth to God's ears, Rebel. Thank you, and I'm sure you will be. You seem like a sharp person. Oh, really? That is funny. I'm going to listen to that. I am going to listen to that. Definitely. But, yeah. Let's see what else we could do. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Jump on, whatever you want to do. Just running out of stuff to talk about at this moment. I have to recuperate my brain. And then I'll probably come on later on. All righty. So I think I'll end it. And I'll come back on tonight. We'll see what happens. See if stuff takes a little energy out of you doing these shows, I hope some people enjoy it. I do. I enjoy the company. I enjoy the people that watch my shows. I just got to get a little. I'm gonna create a studio soon. I'm gonna get one of those like round desk, like in InfoWars, a smaller version. Get a green screen. Maybe I'll get a what do you call that? The app there, Cash App. I'll get a Cash App and I'll take donations to get my green screen and stuff. Yeah, you know, you got to update your show. You got to make it better and better. This way, who knows? Some of you could be my guest. All my original people, I won't forget. So could you imagine one day I got a big show and you could come on as my guest? You never know, right? Anything is possible, especially in this crazy country. But then again, they don't want me out there because, shit, they'll have a heart attack with me. If I was Joe Rogan, they probably would have killed me by now because he, you know, he does a little bit, Joe Rogan. You know, he brings a little stuff to the light, but that guy's got such a following. I mean, he could open up these people so good if he wanted to, but he's scared. He's got to be scared, you know, of his life. I don't disagree with it, but he is definitely scared of getting whacked. Who knows if he wasn't approached already and told to shut up? Because, you know, our CIA don't play around. You got to realize this shit's like the movies. They'll come knock on your door and tell you the next time you see us, it'll be the last thing you see. So you better shut your mouth. I mean, we'll do shit like that, you know? It happens. And, you know, this is what it is. Daily roundup. They just keep showing you the same thing. I told everybody about the gas. Get ready. It's getting crazy. I went the other day to fill my car up. It cost me almost double what it used to cost me. You know? But it seems like Congress and Senate just keep blaming Biden. How could you just keep blaming Biden? Does he run the country or does the Senate and the Congress run the country? I would like to know that. Because from what I understand, even if he vetoed stuff, they could overrule him and they could go beyond, you know, they could go over his head as long as they get enough votes on both sides. So if they really care about us, they would get stuff done. If they want to feel Biden's basically, you know, senile or whatever he is. All right. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. And Rebel, Vigo, was a pleasure. You guys are awesome. Snuggles, thank you for coming down. And we're going to be doing a show on Mads. I don't know if anybody has seen him. Mads was kind of he was famous in his country, actually famous in Europe. He was a singer. I showed one of his videos. King Kane is the name of his group. Me and him are going to do a show about his whole life. He kind of rose to the top. I mean, he told me, you know, he played in arenas, 30, 40,000 people. And a lot of shows, though, he said were 3,000, 4,000. So they were popular in Europe. And he was climbing his way to the top with the band. And then, you know, he got involved with drugs and things. And just like most of a lot of these famous musicians get hooked on stuff. And he fell. And he's got a story to tell. And he'll be my first, like, semi-famous person. I mean, he's not like I got these real famous people, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right? So I'm going to do a show with him and talk about everything, the downfall and all that. Before you know it, I'll be having some more famous people maybe. But if you're a devil worshiper, you can't be on my show. Don't want you. Don't need you. I guess it's going to be hard for me to find famous people, right? It seems to be most of these famous people are some way involved in some kind of evil, you know. There are a few good actors out there. I think Mel Gibson happens to be the one guy that kind of got into Hollywood on his own merit. And they couldn't get rid of him because he was that popular. And he happens to be, I think, one of the few actors that aren't involved in their whole bullshit, you know, their whole satanic club or whatever club you want to call it. I think he happens to be one of the few actors that aren't part of it. You can look into a lot of these actors, and there's a lot of them that are really evil, and then there's some that are just, you know, a little evil. Maybe they just worship Satan. They don't kill babies and stuff like that. Who knows? Great stream, always pops. Thank you, and you guys, thank you. We'll definitely. I'll try to have a show later on tonight. Maybe I'll think of a good subject we could talk about. Because this Ukraine war thing, I'm kind of sick of talking about it, to be honest. That's a distraction to me. But thank you, and may the Almighty God bless you and your family. And Pops out. Thank you once again.